How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the show on a Sunday night here in Japan and an early Sunday morning over there in California. How you doing, Juan?
I'm doing
Busy for you?
okay. I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Really good. I'm doing better than I have been than the wreck I was for the entire month of May.
Wow, yeah. Well, rainy showers bring May flowers, as they say. So hopefully, all of those anguished moments and tears will bring about blossoms of joy somewhere in the future.
I hope
Yeah.
so. I hope so.
All right, so let's give a little hello out to the chat right there. So Captain Fandom Nerd, hello there, good to see you. And we got Mrs. Flu as well. You guys did a great job out there over in Dallas for the meetup. Again, so bummed I wasn't able to make it out there because I just experienced massive overloads of FOMO. Um, just seeing every single person out there. And there was only like a couple of people that weren't able to make it, like I think Jeremy or Geeks and Gamers, and from the show itself. Well, of course, Shad and Az couldn't make it out there, but they had like Chris Gore, they had Ripa, they had they had Alex Stein. Everyone loved the post. Yes, and it was really surreal seeing people walking around with the posters in their hands. That was it
Yeah.
was just a very surreal experience all around. Okay, there we go. Hey, what's up there, Sully? How you doing?
Uh,
Ah,
Good
good
morning, Kenzo, as
morning.
well out there.
Buenos
Just giving a
dias.
holler out to the shop. Yeah, buenos dias. Ohio.
I,
Ohio.
Ni hao ma.
Mushi mushi.
I,
Neho.
I,
Mush, mush.
I,
Where's your mustache?
I was one. I was wondering how am I able to beat you to the stream 2 weeks in a row?
Because you've been
Oh,
up with hanging out with Gray all night, haven't you?
whoa, you were the one. I saw that as well.
Yeah.
Were you? I was asleep. I was
Yeah, I was on Gray. I
good.
was.
How was it?
It was fun. We talked about a lot.
Nice.
We talked about a
That was,
lot of things. I well, we like some of the topics I brought up were Amazing Spider-Man 26.
Bring up bacon. Delicious bacon.
Yeah,
everything goes with bacon, right?
yeah,
Who said that? Who said that? It was
A
on Twitter
vegan.
today.
yeah.
Somebody said, "Well, what goes well with bacon?" It's like what doesn't? I think it might have
Yeah,
been Andy Masterson or something like that.
yeah.
I can't remember who it
Some,
was.
some of the topics some of the topics I brought up with Gray was the
Yummy
steak.
dust.
Steak and eggs we have this morning,
Nice.
gentlemen. We've got some cheesy scrambled eggs with green chives.
Megalo, manga, Lloyd, yahoo!
Hi.
Otsukaresama desu.
Ohio.
Yokoso
Moshi moshi.
irashaimase.
Yeah,
I think that I wonder if Megalo was. I was over at Hachibei's channel. She was doing a live Lego stream. She was putting together the Batmobile from the Lego.
oh,
Ooh. Which
yeah,
one?
so the Batmobile from the Lego movie, the Lego
yeah.
Batman movie.
Okay, have to look that one up.
Yeah, so she was putting that together, and I hopped over there and said hello. So she said, so I don't know if Megalo Mangaloid. Well, it looks like dope. Might be of the.
Hello.
There we go. All right. Yeah. So
Coffee,
what were we
anyone? Would
talking
anyone
about?
like a cup of coffee?
I actually am gonna make. I have coffee waiting for me, but before that, since it's it's 9:40 at night here, I've got me a thing of wine, Spanish wine.
Ooh, carry me, caravan, take me away.
Decaf.
Take me to Portugal, take me to Spain.
Every time I hear Spain, I always think of Don Quixote,
Uh-huh.
and I start thinking of the musical with Peter
The man
O'Toole.
from La Mancha.
Oh yeah, have you ever seen that with Peter O'Toole? It's a good one.
I have not,
Yeah,
but I know the story.
I think it's Sophia Loren played Dulcinea.
Ooh.
Yes,
I like
Dulcinea.
word etymology. And I think it occurred to me just because I have a lot of Spanish friends. I work in a very deeply Latino workplace, so much so that I speak pretty darn good kitchen Spanish, and it goes a long way. But like I didn't even. This is my independent thought. It occurred to me just thinking like Don Quixote. Quixote. Ay, tú jotes. Ay, Pocho, tú jotes. You annoy me. The Don who annoys. Quixote. And because he is kind of annoying.
Oh yeah, to a lot of people.
But that's in his name, Don Quixote.
Well, if you think about
What do you think,
Dulcinea, Dolce,
Well,
sweet candy, Dulce,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
Mm?
One of the things about
She's actually a prostitute
one of the things
in the
about
book.
Don't hold it against her. The sex trade's important.
yeah, one of the things about Don Quixote
Keeps a man going.
Yeah.
Oh, you're kind of low there.
Boost your mic
There
just
you
a
go.
little bit.
Yeah. Get towards it. Make love to it.
Put some balls on that shit.
All right. One of the things about Don Quixote is,
But also, don't wake mommy up. I mean, like, seriously, I don't even know. I sound like a punk. I'm just like,
it's
don't wake
pronounced
her up.
Don.
I did on.
Where is
Not
my
Don.
automobile?
Come on.
Hey, I'm Mexican, not Spanish.
Don.
Not Spanish.
Don.
We hate Spaniards.
Oh, Mrs. Flu, I saw that you had those posters for me. I can't wait to get those. I'm gonna
Ooh,
frame those and put those up.
really?
I can't. I was so gutted. Like
An actual meet-upper.
It was a dream. It was like a dream
Meet-upper.
of mine to have my artwork there, at one of those
guys.
meetups like that. And the fact that it actually happened was, in one, amazing itself. But to have two at the same place, and then me not be able to, makes me so angry.
So, but
Makes me
actually,
so
you were
angry.
there. Literally, you were like the Flash. You were in two places at once.
Yep,
You
pretty
got to
much.
split your quantum essence.
And both of them were
And
kind of
share
like
yourself.
annoying.
Actually, in
Yeah.
3 places at once. If you want to be honest,
Thrice.
you know.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Thrice time.
Megaloid. Mongoloid. I wonder, did we meet at Comic-Con Day? I don't know if you're Japanese or if you're from the States or where you happen to be from, but it's good to see you here. So horrible with names. If I have seen you here before and I don't remember, I apologize. What up, dude? See, you're
Kendo's
speaking
still
like
out
a
there. Floral's out here too. Huh?
oh, the place both got posters
Floral.
signed or framing them for it. Ooh, no way. Awesome. You know
Floral
what?
out there.
I was on some watching Lady G and Steph's live streams of the meetup, and
Mhm.
everybody was going crazy about how much they love that venue. And I just want to say that I saw behind the scenes a lot of the work that went into getting that place and everything organized, and you guys deserve a big round of applause. You did a great job. There was a lot of compliments on how organized it was, and I just want to say that, you know what, a lot of people, they don't realize it, but so much goes on behind the scenes, so much hard work and effort, and you guys really deserve a pat on the back. So good on you.
True that. And hopefully it all went smoothly. I heard the buzz that I've heard was the food was great.
Oh man, I saw some of it on there. It looked really delicious.
That's always a good thing, because when the food is just is really good, it just chills out your entire crowd, and that sets the vibe of your table and of your event.
Yeah,
it really does. I'm a professional chef, Mrs. Flu, so I'm like chafing dishes and sternos and happy guests and nice consistent food and everything, and you're like a duck, you know what I mean? You're on the surface of the water, bobbing along serenely, but underneath that water line,
there's all kinds of currents.
paddling.
Good analogy there. What was I going to say? Oh, speaking of food,
I'm quacking up. It fits the bill.
Eggs this morning. I had some gorgonzola cheese in mine.
Good.
So good. I don't know if you guys are a fan of gorgonzola cheese. It's my favorite.
It has its place. I'm a chef. I mean,
Hey, what's up, Ryan Roger F.A.?
Yesterday for lunch, I had some eggs with mole.
With what? With what?
Mole.
Mole. Holy moly.
Mole.
Hey, Ryan Roger. I saw you on McEnany's stream. You were great.
He's always great.
He's a handsome
man. His leaning tower of DVDs, ready to fall at any moment.
Tell it's never going to fall. That's the whole thing. It's held up by his space magic.
Mrs. Flu says the food was great. The sauce for the chicken was unexpectedly spicy. It's Texas. Everything's spicy there. That's what I thought.
Yeah, even the drinking
water. Even the air is spicy. I'm sure it was on the menu that way, but no one told me, and I dipped it. Wowzers.
Wowzers!
When I hear wowzers, I think dead. Oh no, wait, that's Super Mario. I'm thinking Mr. Gadget. Yeah.
Go get go.
Yeah.
Go get go.
Go catch go.
Yeah.
I'll get you, Gadget.
Thanks. I do voices.
And your pretty little dog too.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that's a different one, isn't it?
Wowzers! Oh man, that was cute. Thanks. Life's a musical, a song can break out at any second. I do believe
it can.
That. Life is a musical.
That's one of the dangers of watching this show.
Yeah.
It's
bust out in a song.
and a single time, and it's
I was right now when I released my review for Gaskell Thraka, Prophet of the Wa, I was afraid that Sully would go on the comments and start spamming the Armageddon, the
Really getting it.
I'm getting it.
I'm really getting it.
Get up, Steve.
One
You walked right into that, or you set us up.
Yeah, I set you up.
Yeah, I know.
I was
I had a mouthful of food, dude.
I was afraid that you would go on my comments and start spamming the lyrics on there.
There's a line, there's a gag, and then there's a nag. So it's like,
Yeah. Oh, by the way, congratulations on the 1,000K, on the 1K.
Hey, I
Cheers.
didn't know that.
Everything is possible. Anyone can get there. There's a science to it. It's let's say to keep grinding with shorts and pimp it. If I can get 1 or 2 subs for every short I do, that's 1 a day. It all accumulates. It's nickels and dimes, as Gene Simmons says. Nickels and dimes fuel the Kiss Army. And I was like, wow. Like, well, 1 and 2 subscribers a day all add up. I looked at my analytics. Literally half of my subscribers came from shorts.
So when are you going to start doing shows, Eric?
I do show. Yeah, I'm on your
show.
show.
I mean, like some. Well, I mean, you do shows, but I mean, like some. I don't know.
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
I have a daily show, which is nice, and it's not the same as a live stream.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see a live stream because I think you do well.
I'll figure that out someday. We all do what we're comfortable doing. I know, and we all come from and most of us come from the best place at that that time as well.
Right.
So no, I just like I was on Wes yesterday. I was on Carrie from Nerdy Girl Creates last week.
Yeah, I saw. I popped in there, just saw a little bit of it because it was like it came over on my like.
I didn't know about. I don't know who Carrie is. I'm sorry.
Oh, she's great. Carrie makes great. I'll put her link in the chat. Everyone should subscribe to Carrie at Nerdy Girl Creates. She does independent comics, but her big slant is on manga, manhwa, and anime. And she's like, it's like. She shows the splendor and spectrum of the medium, and there's just so many niche titles. There really is they just talk over my head. Now, I'm an anime fan from like the 70s, 80s, and 90s, so I'm literally a generation removed from this entire. What the hell is a One Punch Man?
Yeah, I know what One Punch Man is.
I know I'm being a silly, but
is that like the Hole Puncher? There's only got 1 of them in it.
No, One Punch Man is a guy. It is basically like a satire to superheroes or Shonen Jump or the Shonen Jump style of manga.
Right.
He's like the guy. The creator says that he's the guy. He is the main character of every Shonen Jump anime at the end where he's all powerful, but this is the beginning of his anime.
Oh, so he's already reached his peak at the beginning.
Yeah, and he's frustrated because he can beat all his enemies with 1 punch.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that makes a pretty short story then, doesn't it?
Here's a good one I like sharing with people. If y'all know a real life friend of mine now, met through the live chats and streams here, the Memes of Destruction. And
Yes.
so memes used to have a lot more body weight. And what he's literally he does it every day as 503 consecutive days of doing Saitama's One Punch Man workout. 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10K run every day.
Yeah.
So if you want to lose some weight, I mean, he can show you photographic evidence of 503 days ago today. He looked a little bit more like Grimace from McDonald's, and today he's kind of
He's cut.
he looks great.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be doing that for the rest of the summer as best as I can. I'm going to try my best. I'll do that.
Yeah, I've put on a little bit of weight myself. I need to get it. It's the chocolate. I can't. If I have one bite of it, it's like it takes me like a week to get rid of that yearning for it again. It's horrible.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only thing that gets me, man. That's the only thing at all that gets me. Everything other than that, I can resist, but it's just that darn old chocolate.
I want to love your shirt. I was thinking about you yesterday doing Thinking Critical because we were talking a lot about Spider-Man, and I came up actually with a great solution, like a headcanon, or like this is my elevator pitch. What I would tell to Tom DeFalco or Jim Shooter or CB Sapolsky. Okay, we're gonna make Miles Spider-Man for a little while, a couple of years, and this is how I'm gonna do it. I'm going to reunite Peter with the symbiote. Peter is going to be Venom for a couple of years. He's going to be darker.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be a little bit more anti-hero. Wolverine will even try to question one of his best friend's motives. But we got to put Peter in maybe like a bit of an anti-hero place. Give the symbiote what the symbiote really wants. Let Peter accept the symbiote, accept his shadow, and maybe and as a grown man, just move on a little bit, and then have Miles can be the Spider-Man reluctantly go to Peter for advices and assistance, because what's the symbiote going to do? He's going to eat a bad guy. And that's part of, I think that's part of the deal. And I like that because it's fictional and it's fantastic, and you can play with all the action figures. And at the end of it, we make Peter Spider-Man again, blah, blah, woof, woof. That's my pitch.
Is he going to do like a little evil dance number somewhere along the line?
Peter's going to feel regret for every bad guy Venom needs to eat. But I mean, he's just like maybe at a place, maybe it's with MJ. Maybe MJ wants a bit more an alpha male, and he was like, hey, if that's what you wanted, Mary, I would have been that to you the entire time. And
they beat you to it. They beat you to it.
I've heard of symbiote Spider-Man is like, and this is a different one.
This is Chip Zdarsky's Shadow.
Okay.
Spider-Man Spider Shadow, and this
is that continuity?
The symbiote.
Okay.
No, it's a what if. And
okay.
He never got what if he never got rid of the symbiote?
Okay.
And it has the same kind of story beats. He is killing bad guys, and after that and it costs Reed Richards his life, and he feels regret and remorseful, and MJ and Seuss and the rest of the Fantastic Four help him get out of this funk, and at the end he becomes a member of the Fantastic Four to take Reed's place.
Reed's place. This is the genius. That's cool. I like that.
Like, this is what I got like from my local comic book store right now.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to get Incredible Hulk #1, but I couldn't find it. So
they have the one coming out next week, I think.
This is the annual. I got the annual of Incredible
How was it?
Hulk. I haven't read it yet.
Okay.
And support your local comic book shops. Amazon is good.
Hercules and Xena. Tops Comics. Yes.
This came along with something else that I ordered. It was just like an addition to I had no idea that was going to be in there.
Yeah. Amazon.
Hey, PJ Ronnie G. How you doing?
Amazon is good to look for hard to find trade paperbacks, but still support your local comic book shops. Speaking about hard to find, I got this one too. Spider-Man Fairy Tales by CB Sapolsky.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, like you remember how they did like a fairy tales for like the Avengers and the X-Men in the early aughts.
Sounds somewhat familiar.
So they did like this is the one with Spider-Man. They have one where Mary Jane is Little Red Riding Hood, and Peter's the woodsman, and Venom's the big bad wolf.
Ah.
They have one about like friendship with Anansi, where Peter isn't, or they had Anansi the spider the African spider god.
I thought you were talking about one of those bad comic book fans.
No, it's like,
in the basement.
In your face.
and
Keyboard
he actually
Yazis.
and he
Hitler.
actually he's actually charged by the gods to bring forth the elements of wind, fire, earth, and water, and basically those are the representations of the Fantastic Four.
Yes.
There's
pretty much, yeah. The elemental stuff, earth, wind, yeah, water and fire, and
yeah, and then
Cool.
there's one, there's this one where
wait a second, I never thought about that.
exactly,
That makes sense.
isn't it? Exactly.
Yeah,
it's so
makes complete
mythological.
sense.
Yes.
Okay, Earth the thing.
Yes.
Obviously, Susan's going to be air, and then
Rita's
Johnny's
water.
water.
Reed's water and Johnny's flame.
Water.
Oh yeah, flame. Yeah,
Johnny's
because
flame.
he flows like water.
And then also Victor could be steel, what came out of like that process.
And then this one has to be my favorite. I don't know. It's like the symbiote version of Spider-Man, but with a samurai twist.
Mhm.
Like Peter's uncle is killed, and he has to fight the eclipse spirit, which curses his family, or his name is now actually something else.
Benito.
No.
Uncle Benito?
What is it? Was it the total
His
eclipse?
name is Azumi.
Turn around.
No,
Every now and then I get a little bit jealous, and then I feel the look in your eyes.
Turn around.
Every now and then I get a little bit jealous, and then I turn around. Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit terrified, and then I see the look in your eyes.
Do you remember
bright eyes?
What was it? Jack White? No, not Jack White. Jack Black. He did the version of it where it's like a lot of cursing. Every time I get the fucking look in your
was that
eyes.
okay? Starsky and Hutch, the movie. That was the wedding band.
Yeah.
And the final one is this like gender bent version of Cinderella, where Peter's like the Cinderella, except instead of being like a prince, he becomes a knight.
Oh.
And
that sounds great. I'm kidding.
And got also this volume 2 of Nick Spencer's run just came in this week. Spider-Man's Spider Shadow by Chip Zdarsky.
Now that's okay. So that's a 6-issue collection.
I think so. I haven't read it yet.
I'm more interested in getting the floppies than trade paperbacks now in my life. That's just my taste.
I like the trade paperbacks. I got the fourth.
So for a newbie out there,
Spider-Man. That's written by Peter David.
This is a King in Black one.
Okay.
For a newbie out there, let's say you're a newbie, right? You're watching this, or you might be on the panel and not know. What's the big difference between the trade paperback and a floppy?
Trade paperback has the issues, but has all the issues in one, but they're more expensive, and the floppies are like magazines.
The floppies are the periodical.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
The magazine format sold at the newsstand for a cover price. The trade paperback is the collection with a different spine and different printing.
Yeah.
It's like a different paper stock.
I actually got in. These also came in this week. I got the entire Spider-Man Marvel Knights issues. The entire Mark Millar collection.
Oh, the Marvel Knights stuff?
Yeah.
That stuff's good.
Yeah, the Mark Millar ones. And then I got
I loved his Norman.
And then I got the Wild Blue Yonder. The Wild Blue Yonder, which is 13 through 18, and that's when they ended the run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Miller's Norman was like a lot darker tones.
Yeah,
taken
it was
on
like
his
Hannibal
costume.
Lecter. He was like Hannibal Lecter in this one.
Hmm.
And
This,
let's see. Oh, Marvel Knights, Spider-Man Fight Night. I like this one because of the art. Look at this art. It's so psychedelic. It's like 70s, 60s version, 60s Doctor Strange.
Mm-hmm.
oh, weird.
Yeah,
That's nice.
yeah,
Nice.
and then finally I got the last two volumes of Renew Your Vows. All I need is the third one, and that costs like $60 used because it's so hard to find, and I really want to get that one so I can complete my collection. And because I don't care if it's used. I'll read it and then I'll put it back on I'll review it and then I'll put it back on my shelf.
Mm.
And it's so hard to find because that's the one where they have Venom in it, and a lot of people or Mary Jane gets the symbiote, and that's the one where a lot of people will like very very hard will like won't give it up so easily.
Won't give it up. Is it like the suit or something else?
They won't give up their books so easily.
Oh, I forgot to say in my pitch, my elevator pitch, that a lot of it is so for me as the writer, I want, like, say, like Zeb Wells, I want 3 years on this. You know, so I got an act 1, 2, and 3. I got arcs, I got stories, we got one shot, blah, blah, woof, woof. I want to like bring Venom back down to the street.
Mhm.
To like, I want to stay as far away from Null and the cosmic shit as possible, because that's not me. I've never read any of that. I think that's just so, it's like the movie that was done with corporate syzygy with the movie in mind. Because how can we make a Venom movie divorced from the Spider-Man mythos? Well, here's how you go about doing it. And it's, for me, it's like, no, you cannot have Venom without Spider-Man. And then you can tinker with that a bit. Like, there's like Ultimate Spider-Man, which was pretty darn good. Raimi Spider-Man 3 could have been a lot better.
Yeah.
The Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon series of the early aughts. Not the MTV one, but the other one that was like kind of more anime-ish. That had a really good symbiote, so you can get that away from from Secret Wars. 'Cause there's a way to it. It's just writing a good story. But to have Venom without Peter, that denies what are you going to do? Retcon that, and then how explain the black costume? I mean, I just I'm not seeing it. I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as a fan of the black costume, I want to see Peter in the black costume, and you know what I mean. But how to, bring it back to Earth?
Yeah. But I think like they're going with the wolf in sheep's clothing. I think what they're doing right now is they're going to go with the wolf in sheep's clothing.
Mm.
Clothing story with Paul becoming the next emissary.
Sure, because he's the son of the son of the son. Are you buying Sombra Symbiote?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I like I said, I'm taking a
The Spider Break.
Yeah, I'm still gonna get Venom, and I'm still going to get like other comic books. Like I already had my guy save me Green Arrow and Green Lantern, so I could buy them. So I can buy them whenever I have the money, and I'm going to basically have other Spider-Man Spider-Mans on my Spider-Man trade paperbacks on my wish list that I want to get. So yeah. Right now I'm taking a break from the current run of Amazing Spider-Man because the entire thing of issue 26 fell flat on its face. Like Rabin is the son of Paul is the son of, or Paula is like the Rabbin from that universe.
And Rey was Palpatine's granddaughter all that time too. Sure.
Yeah,
Disney stuff.
and the whole thing that the kids were illusions, and that Rabbin actually killed Miss Marvel instead of Mary Jane. All three of those.
Well, that was an enchanted blade. I can see that, like, Miss Marvel not being able to recover from that. I mean, that makes sense story wise to me.
Yeah, and all those things just fell flat on their face.
My real question is, like, this week is Spider-Man India #1.
Oh yes,
I'm thinking about getting that.
Yeah,
Spider-Man. Wait a second. What's this? So for everybody out there who doesn't know, let's pretend like that nobody knows what's going on. All right, including
AKA
the
you.
person right here. Yeah. What are we talking about here?
Let's talk to our friend James and tell him what's going on. Wait, catch me up here.
Spider-Man India is like a version of Spider-Man.
So we're talking about Spider-Man, like the one like where they have.
He's from India.
Okay, all right, like the one that you can find on YouTube where he's doing the dance and stuff.
No. Spider-Man India is like a
it's a multiverse.
A multiverse version of Spider-Man where he's actually where Peter Parker is actually Indian, and everyone around him is also Indian. And
okay, found it right here. Here we go.
Yeah, and he actually has a hard time, even though he's smart. He actually has a hard time going around because of the caste system that India has.
Okay.
But when he gets spider powers, he uses them to, after his Uncle Benjai dies, he starts using his powers to help people, kind of like another version of Spider-Man of the Spider-Man mythos.
Pavitir Prabhakar is a simple Indian boy from a remote village and moved to Mumbai with his Aunt Maya and his Uncle Bim to study, studying, and after getting half a scholarship. So it's about like an Indian kid going. Dude, I work at a university. There are lots of kids from the Indian subcontinent there. I like this.
Yeah, he was actually This is because he was so smart that he actually got the scholarship because he was so smart, and he wouldn't have gotten that scholarship because of the caste system.
Okay,
and that's why
because of the college.
That doesn't mention the caste system in the wiki one bit.
Oh, no,
really?
Maybe.
And
I remember that he was always treated badly.
Really, that makes complete sense culturally, and the Parker Luck thing.
Yeah, because
James, this was a yearly. It was a limited series back in 2004, 2005, 4 issues long, and so they're returning to this property because he's got a cameo in the Across the Spider-Verse movie.
Yeah,
have you guys seen that yet?
No,
not yet.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
We haven't seen it. We haven't
no
seen
spoilers.
It.
Okay.
We haven't seen it.
I can spoil
it. Chat, no spoilers. Chat, no spoilers.
It doesn't come out here till the 16th. It doesn't come out here for another 5 days. So I'm going to take the little one to go see it because we just watched the first one the other day. We had a movie night.
Yeah, I had
as soon as we finished, like, she immediately got her hoodie out, her pink and white hoodie. She made a mask, and she to make the eye parts. I didn't know what she was doing. I was in the other room working here. When I get over, she has her mask done up, and she's got like the paper where you could kind of see through it. And I was like, "What have you done there?" She took olive oil and she put it on the paper to make it kind of like translucent. Poked holes in it. She had some was doing some Spider-Gwen poses. So she's and then the day before that, she did a Wednesday cosplay because she saw that I'd done a Wednesday picture for somebody.
Yeah.
I did a commission where I did like a half and half. Half it was Wednesday, half it was Enrid. I believe that's the other character's name.
Yeah.
I'm actually working on this right now. This is
Peter Quill?
Yep, oil painting of Peter Quill. It's a very small one. And I'm actually going to be working on this size today. And the topic for today is Frank Miller.
Dark Knight Batman.
Yeah.
I present
So-
to you the Batman.
So-
Mano Imano.
Yeah, so I'm excited about this. I think that the lady who I'm actually doing this commission for, she might be popping in.
Oh, cool.
She's got her. She's her name's Hachibe. She's got her own whatchamacallit. She's got her own show. She's a girl, a young lady. Don't call her a girl. Either way, she did like a video for introducing Artist Alley and a bunch of the artists working at the Comic Cons. She's got her own channel. Really cool lady. I need to put it. Actually, I'm going to put a. Well, it's all in Japanese, so I don't know if you guys will understand it or not. Doubt it, but I'll put a link in there anyways. Let me find it.
If they got translations, I'll probably understand it because the only Japanese I understand if it has subtitles.
Well, you know, if it's got a cute girl doing stuff, do you really need to know what she's saying?
I don't care. Like, hello there, Moshi Moshi.
Oh, I don't know.
She does have-
I don't know if you guys can see it, but I put this like on the Spider-Man shelf. I got this cool Spider-Man from Etsy.
Hmm?
I don't know if you guys can see it right now. This
I
guy,
actually, my telescopic vision's not working today. Right? I
Yeah.
had a little, not too much to drink last night.
of course you did.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's a true otaku.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah, she's got like a life scale. I believe it's a Spider-Man in her room.
really.
Like her room's just like here. Let me try to find some pictures of it. I'll show you. It's her like even though it's a small Japanese room, it's decked out. Yeah.
And
Don't tell him,
And-
Mongoloid. Keep it between us.
that's for you, Bentito, in the private chat. That's my friend Carrie, Nerdy Girl Creates. She's she does Otaku Tuesdays. It's a play on Taco Tuesdays.
Yeah.
So she
Oh,
does
you can share it in the chat if
Tuesday.
you want to.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
sure.
I'll throw it in there.
I got you. And
Yeah, I'll do it.
that's Carrie from Nerdy Girl Creates, and she deserves more. She deserves more subs. She's about 630 right now, and we grow together. And she's a really good YouTuber.
Yeah,
And
I just subbed her right now.
cool. Make sure you watch 5 minutes of one of those videos to lock you in,
Yeah,
or else you might get bounced. You know.
yeah.
Okay. Oh.
Guess who popped into Thinking Critical's chat yesterday in
Who
the
would that
panel?
be?
Comic writer Mike Barron.
Mike Barron, as
He was on the panel.
Let's
Wow.
see. I heard his name.
What has he
but
written? Rest
let me
newbies.
see.
Mike Barron is a prolific writer, mostly known with DC Comics in the mid to late 80s. A lot of Marvel comics, some Star Wars comics with Dark Horse. He does a lot of CG stuff now. He's one of the Kangs, hanging out with Ethan and John and Shane and that gang now. But
He did the Punisher.
yes, he did the Punisher. He inherited the Punisher. See, Jerry Conway invented the Punisher in 1973 for ASM, but it was Mike Barron who wrote the seminal mid 80s limited series that brought the Punisher back, and he was just this street level gun hero. You know what I mean? And it's just
He created Jigsaw. That's one of my favorite comic book villains.
That reminds me of one of my favorite comic book covers.
Mm-hmm.
The Jigsaw cover. You remember the Punisher with the Jigsaw cover?
I think so.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's a beautiful one.
Here, I think I got it.
I've got the actual one over here. Oh, here it is. I got it. Yeah, I love this cover. This one's a beaut. Oh, darn it. Here we go. Yeah, this is a beaut right here. Look at that. That one. That is sweet. Is that? Who drew that?
I don't know.
And Nexus, the Steve Rude.
I have this comic right here. I have it over here somewhere. Sorry.
Mike Barron writes Nexus. He's 73, so he's not a spring chicken. He wrote the beginning of Flash in 1987 for issues 1 through 15, and of the introducing Wally West to being the hero, the Flash. He just graduated from being Kid Flash. Barry Allen just died in the crisis.
Yeah.
And but also he did this late 80s. It was the late 80s, so it was a higher cover price. It was on cardstock cover with Baxter paper kind of thing, for mature audiences, because DC was doing like more trying for that direct market thing. It was called Sonic Disruptors, and it was supposed to have been a 12-issue maxi series. Only 7 issues came out before they kind of just gave up. Even Barron says, he admittedly says, like, it's a dud. I didn't know where I was going story wise, but it was like set in its own world. There's a satellite in orbit around Earth that's a renegade rock and roll station, because rock music has been banned in America, and America is now a totalitarian fascist state, and so they always have to try to stay hidden and one step ahead of the black hats while spreading their message and the freedom of rock and roll music.
God give rock and roll.
So I got to ask him. I was like, "Hey, Mike, do you think you would revisit Sonic Disruptors in this age of crowdfunding?" And he was like, "You know what? I got an announcement about that tomorrow." And I'm like, "No shit, really?" And I'm like, "Guys, I was buying that in middle junior high and high school. That was like, that was one of my. I was reading that."
Also,
that's awesome, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, I got some comics news.
Yeah. Also, I heard from Mackany, Chuck Dixon is actually doing a story for the Rippaverse.
Yeah,
he is. Yeah. He made that announcement a few weeks ago, I believe.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah. I mean, this guy is comic book royalty. And
it's
oh yeah, Chuck Dixon's the man.
Yeah, he's based as hell.
Father
dude. Like
of Bane. So is Mike Barron too. Yeah.
And
you know what? Based. What do you guys think about that term?
It's the opposite of the W word.
Hang on.
Yeah, it is.
It's the antonym.
It's cooler.
Based in reality. Modern talk, we have I don't like using the word anymore.
Hey, what's up, Joe's Atmosphere? Sorry, don't mean to interrupt you there.
Because once you use the word woke, if someone who objects to that, their immediate response is, well, can you define that word?
Yeah,
like in a really kind of smug uppity way, like, you know exactly what I mean. You're just trying to deflate my usage of it. But I will say the antonym of woke would be based.
Look what came in this week.
Hey, cool, Graham Nolan.
What's up,
really
Joe?
Cool.
The artist for Chuck Dixon, Graham Nolan, the guy who co-created Bane. His first ever part of Joe Frankenstein.
Oh boy.
I love going through my old 90s comics and picking up some 90s comics in here and just being like, holy shit, look at this. Travis Charest. Like Shane Davis. Like, look at this. Like fucking like what's his name? Smith. I like this guy too. He's on the I got the Exo Man of War and Iron Man mashup from the mid 90s. Great Andy Smith. And I'm like, all these guys are on the CG King shows, and I'm like, and I find like all of their 90s art, and I'm like, look at this. I saw like a 97 Lionel Yu from a Larry Hama Wolverine, and I'm in love with it. I'm like, oh my god, look at this. This is so early in his career. He hasn't found his style yet that he's been using, that we're so used to. It's like, wow. Like,
this is what I don't get. They call these veterans CG, but they don't care about politics. They only care about doing art and telling stories.
Well, because that's the opposite of what the editors are hiring out of colleges.
Yeah.
It's not about the art, it's about the message. It's not about the money, it's about the platform.
Yeah.
And DC is actually getting back to, they figured something out. Check out Dawn of DC. There are a lot of good titles. They're superhero hyphen based titles. I mean, they're not like so there's always going to be that intersectional stuff out there, but they're returning to a lot of classic superhero stuff that just It's out there. Green Lantern is coming out. 2 is coming out this week. It looks really awesome. Part 1 was fun.
Yeah, right now, like I said this last week that purchase, like that pendulum is starting to swing in comic books. I can see some of it in Marvel, not that much, but especially with DC, they're going back to like classic story.
Marvel's doing it the Marvel way. They're trying to have their cake and eat it too. See, what Marvel's doing is they're releasing slices of nostalgia bait kind of thing, like Symbiote Spider-Man or Paul Levitz's Avengers Across Time, or the one I'm reading, Anisetti's Storm of the X-Men. And these are set in the past using writers that were writing these in the past. Like Howard Mackey is writing Danny Ketch Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
And it's just Ghost Rider stories set in those 90s stories. It's told today in new magazines, new stories.
Yeah.
And so they can continue to have their whatever they're making, like, new stuff, but they are catering to, like, Peter David has been doing like World War Maestro and other Hulk stuff, and
they're
Mr. Fix It. That's it, Mr. Fix It.
They're starting to like some of the things that I see with the stories that they're starting to go back to the old ways. Like Fall of X is probably gonna mark the end of the Krakoa era.
Hopefully, we could always pray.
And like they're gonna want to come up with a big event which will bring in both fans new and old for Spider-Man 1000.
Mm-hmm.
So like the only thing that I could think of is Peter and Mary Jane getting remarried, and that's the only thing that could bring all the fans back.
Or Mary Jane can shoot Peter and say, we got a divorce. I liquidated all your assets. I'm taking half the cash, and your half of the cash I donated to something.
Yeah, the thing is
that Frank, Peter.
Oh yeah. I hated what they did to the Punisher. It was just Jason Aaron.
He had it coming. It's what we deserve. And it is what we deserve for not standing up for that kind of shit.
Yeah,
that's what happens when you...
Yeah, it was just Jason Aaron lecturing the fans of why they shouldn't like this hero. And you shouldn't preach to your audience. Stan Lee once said that he hates preaching to people because it makes you feel like you're talking down to them, and you should.
Well, they are talking down to you.
And they are. Pretty much
because
they're on their high horse.
They're college-educated, smart people they paid a lot for that. They paid a lot for their ideology, and they want to get their money's worth. It's only human. I can respect that, But I have a question. I mean, so what's our medium today? Because last time I asked about the paper, so I was really interested in like the watercolor paper, and you started talking about like weight of the paper, and it's like, this is like fascinating stuff to me, man.
Today's medium will be oil painting.
Oh,
on MDF board.
Okay.
So this is MDF. Oh my gosh, what did it sound for it again? Let me get
a particle board or something.
It is a particle board. MDF board. Meaning MDF stands for medium density fiber board.
Okay.
I don't know why I don't know that. I'm reading directly from Google. It's an engineered material made by breaking down hardwood or softwood residuals into fine particles, combining it with wax and a resin binder, and applying a high temperature and pressure. And what it gives you is a wood-like kind of thing, but to me, it's almost like you took lots of paper and compressed it really hard. Okay. So like if I was to take this edge and I would bang it against something, it would look like how cardboard does. Mm-hmm. It would fray like, so it's very durable, and a lot of artists use it for their oil paintings, but you want to watch out for the corners. So if you do buy anything, or if you decide that you want to paint using this, make sure that you protect your edges. Now, what I do with mine is I put about 3 to 4 coats of gesso on mine, because this is particle board, and you don't want the oil to seep through this and get into your wood, because it will deteriorate it over time. So you protect it by putting on coats of gesso. And I've also gessoed the edges. I don't do the back because what I do at the end is I sand the back of these pictures after the end because it gets some stuff on it, as you can see here. I sand it
That's
up at
spelled
the
with
end.
a Gesso, Gesso.
Gesso is gesso.
Okay.
That's the
Gesso is a
initial.
hard compound of plaster of Paris or
Yes.
whitening in glue used in sculpture or as a base for gliding or painting on wood.
Yeah.
The surface must first be given several coats of gesso.
Yeah.
Because I always hear Bob Ross drop that term, so
Yeah.
I'm like, so
And,
I never
and
really.
when people hear gesso, they usually think of white because if you see a canvas that's been gessoed, it's usually white. But Bob Ross also did some of his
I'm gonna
gessos in
use some black gesso, and because we're gonna have a nighttime here, and I'm gonna make the sunlight bleed into the horizon. Now pick your horizon line.
So that's what this one was done on. I started on this one this morning, and this is
We don't make
size,
mistakes here. No mistakes, only happy accidents.
Same size.
Just like
and everything right
beat the devil out of it.
So I saved these commissions to last because I mean oil paint. I
Well,
don't
they
know
take
why
forever to dry, correct?
They do, but they don't actually because I'm going to introduce something else. For everybody out there in the chat, this is a lifesaver for me. Kent Williams introduced me to this. This is called Liquid Original.
Okay.
Liquid Original is it helps basically just helps speed up the drying time for it's a medium, an oil painting medium, and it is used to speed up the drying time for your oils by like 500%.
Okay.
Like if I took and put like took a thing of white paint and just threw it on the canvas, oil paint, it will take forever to dry. Well, oxidize, I guess, and then blah 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 blah, whatever, dry.
Well, I'm thinking because it's going to take time. Because it's going to take time for like if you had like a mass of it, you know what I mean, and that's gravity is going to affect that as well, or whatever incline you have it on your
no,
easel.
no, not too much, because the oil in itself is very very thick and and it doesn't have that dripping effect unless you were to mix like turpentine and other mediums with it, and that will give it that dripping effect. I'm going to show you right here. This is my drawing board right here, my drafting table.
Hello.
Handmade.
Of course. You're very handy man. I saw that your wife gave you a chainsaw.
Well, I went out and bought one after the Comic-Con because well, she's probably going to use one on me one day. I'm pretty sure, but yeah,
but not today.
No. After Comic-Con, I kind of treated myself to a chainsaw because I have a fire pit. I've got a fire pit here. We have barbecues over at the house all the time, and my neighbors, they give me, because we use like wood, actual trees and fallen trees and stuff in there. But if you go to buy firewood at the Home Depot or whatever, the hardware stores, it's cost an arm and a leg now. Like prices have tripled. So I just went over to my neighbors and anybody. I was like, well, if you got any fallen trees, just send them over my way. And then next thing I know, I've got a backyard just piled up with trees. And I'm like, well, gosh, I wasn't expecting this at all, and I can't go through those with just a regular old handsaw. That'll take me forever. So I treated myself to a nice Makita. It was on sale for about $100.
Nice.
A nice good old cord, a cord electric, cord, whatever, chainsaw. So I only use it in my backyard. So I've got the plugins and everything back there, and man, I went through like a whole tree in no time at all, and it's just like it's a lifesaver. Why am I talking about that?
Because
why are we talking about
we were talking about your
handyman. Yeah,
you made your art easel. That's
yeah. So there's my my.
Is that something they teach you in art school, like how to build?
No,
an
I taught this myself. This is all self-taught. They will teach you that stuff in wood in sculpture. But I didn't. I only took like one sculpture class, and everything else is I started doing this here in Japan. I went and I wanted to start making my own frames, so then I went out and bought some tools. But you buy one tool and you're able to make something, but you're like, but I want to make it easier and I want to make it better, and that leads to another tool. So I bought myself a table saw, and everything around it is all like custom made. I've done all kinds of custom work to a lot of my tools to because I buy like some of them you have to, I'm not going to go professional level, so I buy like cheap tools sometimes, but I make adjustments to them and do some
Hmm.
kind of manipulating customization to make them where they work at a better level.
Mhm.
And like every tool that you buy, it's got some little quirks to it. No matter how good of a tool of it is, it's still going to have like little things that you
It's
uh,
personality.
yeah. Basically, it does have its personality. No, literally, it has its
It does.
personality, and you gotta figure out what it is. But taking us back to today's medium, yes,
Hmm.
this liquid by Winsor and Newton. Winsor Newton, you hear me out there?
Windsor Newton.
Yeah, one of the greatest art manufacturers ever. They make great watercolors. I don't use their oil paints because they're not really readily available here in Japan.
Mhm.
In Japan, most of the time I use a company called uh, Kusakabe. There you go.
Ooh.
But this like speeds up the. I could finish a painting in 2 days. I'm not kidding you. An oil painting in 2 days with this
Uh-huh.
kind of stuff, and maybe add an extra day or two for drying, and that's it.
Bye,
And
Ryan
then it's ready to
Rogers.
go. Oh, take it easy. Yeah, sorry, I don't have my chat up here.
Hey, Pops.
Hey, what's up, Pops? How's it going?
Hey, how's it going, Pops?
Yeah, and Joe's Atmosphere has a question for you in the live chat. I got to ask the Jinja Ninja, why not use acrylic if you're worried about drying time?
Oh no, I do acrylics as well. This is a commission. I offer 5 different types of commissions. I offer black and white, which is done in ink, and in waterproof ink. I also do watercolors and acrylic inks. But actually, I guess that's 2 more mediums. I do acrylic paintings, I do monotypes, which I do on my printing press, and I do oil paintings. And I have examples of all this artwork up at my booth. And if you look at my commission form, which I have on Instagram and in Twitter, there's a list of all of my commission prices with under each medium. So the reason I'm doing this one in oil is because the customer asked for it in oil. So I received, I think there was a total of 64 commissions for Osaka Comic Con. The majority of them being black and white or watercolor and ink. I kind of saved my acrylic ones and the oil ones to last just because they take longer to do and a lot more effort. And I kind of like to just kind of put what I'm going to do next time. I got to make up a different system because I want to actually do them in order next time. It's just so difficult on the day of during the event. There's all kinds of like everything gets mixed up. You just kind of like lose track of who was first and whatever. So I need to make a better system of that. But I'm saving these oil ones to last because I don't know, just because. So yeah, that's why I'm doing those in oil and doing them in oil and acrylic. They're like
It sounds
I
like
like both
taste.
mediums.
Because it's like
Yes,
someone can
yes,
say, "Can you cook me something Italian? Could you cook me something Chinese?" And
right.
it's like so someone, you have an
Yeah.
appreciation for a watercolor, and then there's a completely different like, wow, look at that oil painting. Ooh.
Yeah, I'll give you some examples. Just hold on a second.
And it'd be a good time to remind everyone in the chat, check out the Jinja Ninjas comic book, Anti-Steam Jump
Oh, thank you.
Western number 0. If you haven't already, now is a great time to click on the link I'm dropping in the chat right now and support some independent art. The very art you're seeing created today in the great and the amicable style of James Harris.
Thank you, Eric. I
You're
appreciate
welcome,
that, Sully. So this is an example of like oil painting. You can see the sheen on there. I've put on a varnish afterwards. So like just my oil paintings. It's kind of weird. Like my oil paintings in acrylic, the touch, you can definitely see a difference between like the oil paintings. It's like the Hellboy one that I did a while back. This is all in oil. So this got like this kind of feel to it. And I've got these I've made these frames where I can easily take the paintings in and out, and I use these at Comic-Con as well.
Oh yeah.
And that's what the oil touch is like. And then, for example, an acrylic, a good example of acrylic would be this Nightcrawler picture. Where'd it go? Like, oh, here it is. Yeah, like this Nightcrawler picture. And I do my acrylics, usually I do them on paper. So like on a watercolor paper. So this would be like it's in a plastic thing, so it's a bit difficult to see. I'll take it up there just in case anybody's curious and they want to see. I know I'm boring you all with my art talk.
That's fine. I'll bore you with the video game talk I have later because I was watching the summer game show.
I was being sarcastic there, Juan.
Yeah,
I know. Interested. I'm joking with you. Yeah. So that's so yeah. Everybody's got like their taste of things they like, and maybe I provide too much, but I don't know. I figure, I can paint in many different mediums. The more, the merrier, and I enjoy it. I enjoy it too because I find that every one of these commissions is like practice for me, like really good practice. And the more I do, I feel like the better I get at it. And well, it's just one of those things. So yeah. Speaking of which, it's an hour to the show. I'm going to go ahead and get ready to start working on this.
Yeah.
So
cool.
Yeah. Just gonna pop it. Ooh, almost knocked over my wine. That would have been interesting.
Party foul.
Party foul. Oh, I like that term. Look at that. That's convenient. Just scoot this over here. All right. Yeah, I can't get it really, really close because it's a small picture, and it's just I'm not going to be able to get it really close in today. But you guys just have to bear with me here. There you go.
Yeah. Hey, do you guys remember the video game Twisted Metal?
I remember Twisted Sister.
You're mute. Sully, you're
Who
mute.
is? Oh, Sully's mute.
Oh, cool. That's good. It's better than talking over people. I know that's something I developed over at Wes. But I mean, his chest and his logo have to take up so much space.
Well, the thing
a lot
is,
of real
like,
estate, yeah.
You've only got this small bit, and that's another drawback of doing like a small piece like this is that you're only going to be able to get in so much of the character. But I've already basically got in mind what I want to do with this character. So, like for me, I want to have like here I just want to have like maybe his shoulders are kind of hunched over. Mm-hmm. That way you'll be able to get the cowl, the cape, the emblem, and maybe like his fist coming up like this right here.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe two fists or one. I haven't decided yet. I might just do one fist. But there's not a lot of real estate to work with. But I like working in this format because like many people who work in physical media or in the movies, when they had to work with physical props, it creates restrictions and it creates limitations. And when you do that, you have to become more creative with the less that you are provided. You know what I mean? The less you have to work with, the more creative you have to be with doing something that is
what you got.
Yeah. So I'm going to make the. Yeah,
I was thinking that we were talking about coloring in comics yesterday, and I didn't get into how I felt because, there's only so much time, and you don't want to talk over people.
Right.
But Wakasashi's Gray, he brought this up the other day with Jim Werner talking about Doom Patrol, and he mentioned that he used the term limited palette when it came to the coloring, and I'm like, bing, there you go, because. With this infinite choice of shades and colorings, it all turns into mud in the background in a way, or this what we like to derisively refer to as bisexual lighting. And but that's true because it's evident everywhere in coloring. But coloring, I think, is maybe even like digital blur effects were great, and But now it's like I'd like to see some classic coloring, like what, like 128 colors, a limited palette.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Well, I'm going to show you
I
a limited
think
palette here. Not that I'm any professional
I think there
comic book
was like
colorer.
yeah, I think there was like a limited palette in some on some of the pages of crossover where like superheroes escaped comic books and they were actually like well I saw this on Nerded newsstand
Yeah.
it was an indie comic book called Crossover
Uh-huh.
in
Yeah.
which superheroes and villains there was like a dome over a city and superheroes and villains were actually in that thing and there were some people who were like against the entire superhero thing but there was people who were embracing it. They even wore masks. Like the interesting thing was like how the superheroes and villains were painted. It was like the limit like the old school 80s, yeah, old school 80s and 70s kind of coloring.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the printing process itself was a major factor in that as well because
Mm-hmm.
you weren't able to get all these colors that you wanted.
Right.
So you had to work with again, you had to work with what you had. And the
Right.
problem about going digital and stuff like that is there are no limitations.
Correct. And so you probably spend more time double guessing yourself. Like,
Oh, tons,
or like say,
tons.
okay, like I've seen like I'm a fan of the Watchmen original coloring, like the remaster. I'm like,
Right.
I don't know. It's got less panache. It's got less
Uh-huh.
funny book feel to it. Remember, this is a funny book. This is a comic book, and but it was printed. That was not printed on newsprint.
Hmm.
That had the better paper stock and the higher price point as well per issue. But just the whole recoloring thing, it's like, why did you tinker with it? Your boy Zach
Yeah, yeah.
has a
I
good
feel
one
you there,
about,
man.
yeah, like he always points that out too about like the scans of the actual comics seem to be a bit more satisfying than the PDF files that they use like at like marvel.com or unlimited, whatever it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, again, it's like going back into the original Star Wars and going, hey, you know what? Let's make it better by adding in all of this CG stuff and then messing around with the color and everything. It's like, but
putting
there
in
was
that
something.
putting in all those X-wings at the Battle of Yavin took away for
Yeah,
me
dude.
that experience. It's like it was
Yeah,
better when it was underwhelming odds or overwhelming
exactly.
odds, or like it
Yep.
was just, yeah, and it was based
It's
on
like
a real World War II fight.
I know it's you took away from it. Why people? I just don't. I know there's a lot of decisions, there's a lot of talking that goes along behind the scenes, but in the end, it's just yeah. Sometimes you need somebody to go up to the artist and say, "Hey, look, don't touch it. Just leave it alone. Don't touch it. Just stay away." Ridley Scott, I'm talking to you. Stay
Uh-huh.
away from it. Now, here, speaking of limited palette, this is how many colors I use.
Hmm.
This is it, 5, and
Hmm.
2 of them being black and white. Everything else is ultramarine blue, vermilion hue, cadmium yellow, light, then titanium white, and an ivory black. And I started adding other colors to this, and I found that I was making a lot more. I was having trouble making decisions and stuff. So I stick to this, and I don't have any choice. And
Mm.
even with just 5 colors like this, you're still able to get like a variety of. But it all has this kind of same kind of tone to it,
Hmm.
and you could tell, oh, the same person did this painting. That did this painting over here. You could tell because of the color usage. So I'm really trying to stick with my oil paints and just keeping them to these five colors,
That's
and
cool.
that's it.
See,
Yep.
yay.
Yeah.
Gosh, I was just thinking. I was reading this Dark Horse Star Wars comic book, Hyperspace Tales, and there's this huge panel of Luke and Leia between Star Wars and Empire, on stranded on a planet, and all I can see is this like boring same coloration, the entire background from these like all this planetscape of mountains and snow or stuff.
Right.
But it's like it wasn't all snow, but it's like this is just boring. And then you throw in the obligatory like the Ben-Day dot filter, and I was like, you can't. Oh God, just shut the shut the front door in that.
Well, I think a lot of this happened when people are like, okay, time is money. Let's do this quicker.
Exactly. Yeah,
Like,
you got me there too. Yeah.
I just think I don't agree with that at all. I just don't agree with that. Because they were able to pop out stuff very quick, in the back
because you had talented craftsmen, tradesmen,
talented.
draftsmen.
That's the word right there.
Trained,
There's so many.
Yes,
and I'm not preaching to the choir here because I am not like those guys at all. I am not like them at all, and I've tried to be, and I'm just not. That's just not my forte. But if you want to look for making stuff that is a quality, look at those guys. Those are the giants. And it took time and it took lots of practice to get to that point, people. That's not just something that you learn in a classroom.
Deadlines too. Having an editor that worries more about deadlines and are you finished with this? Why aren't you finished with this? I got it, instead of, well, let's talk about our feelings over supper in our comic books. Okay. Well, no one's buying this one, but we're still gonna, we still need a story from you.
Yeah. I was like, wait, why is my picture so small in here? I was like, oh, whoops, I forgot to do this. There we go.
Hello.
That helps. Yeah, sorry, I can't really get very closer than this.
Okay.
So just go with it. Sorry. My apologies.
I was gonna ask you guys. Do you remember the PS1 game Twisted Metal?
Kinda.
No, not at all. Zero.
With
the clown driver or something, and it's like you drive around and you got missiles and it's like bumper cars but lethal.
Yeah.
Demolition Derby.
Yeah, they're actually making a series out of this. I saw it on the Summer Game Show.
Oh, okay.
Like a movie series?
No, a TV series.
Oh, okay.
Let me show you it. Let me show you the clip. I don't know if you're gonna get flagged for this, but
well, hold on a second.
We'll speed it up to 1.5 and drop the audio.
Yeah, that'll work.
I do things the drinker way.
I would like to give a shout out to Mar if you're out there watching right now.
Fuck off, copyright strike.
All right. I'll keep the audio down. I'll keep the audio down. So like this is like where the lead character played by Anthony Mackie, who's known as John Doe, in this one, he actually meets Sweet Tooth, and the body type is actually Samoa. The body is actually played by Samoa Joe, but the voice is Will Arnett.
Okay, what are we getting into here?
Ooh.
Right. Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. Ready?
Dark Knight, come up and say hello to you.
I don't have the. I'm not putting the voices, but there's subtitles.
Okay. Do better. Huh.
Uh-huh.
Oh, nice punch. Stay down, Bucky. No.
Oh, no.
He's not Bucky.
No, that's Falcon.
Yeah.
You bigot. That's Captain's America.
Yeah,
Bigot.
This is the funny part. Let me put in the audio because
she had dumped like a truck. That's like what? All night long.
Let me see that thong.
Like it when the beat go.
Da-da-da-da.
Baby, let your booty go.
Da-da-da-da.
Girl, you want to show?
Da-da-da-da.
The thong. Do you love the silver hair god? Don't lie to me.
Yeah, man. Look, I listened to Unleash the Dragon so many times the disc broke. I'm not a liar.
You said you were coming to my show, and then you shot at me.
There's a misunderstanding. I've been getting shot at ever since I can remember. It's a forced habit, I guess.
Sounds like you have trust issues.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Nice pipes, dude, I have to say. That high note, was perfect.
A word?
Yeah. Can I go? I got somewhere to be.
I thought you said you were coming to the show.
Of course I am. Just Can I leave after the show?
Well, in that case, tonight is opening night.
Ah. Oh, okay, so this is a. Ah, okay.
Yeah, I was a little iffy about Will Arnett doing the voice of Sweet Tooth, but like him, like after seeing that clip, it's kind of like he has this like twisted sort of glee about him.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of another Batman, huh?
Yeah.
Will Arnett.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was the Lego Batman, huh?
Darkness.
Yeah. He has
Yeah.
he's like a lot. Someone put in the chat on the replies on that he could actually pull off Freddy Krueger now that Robert Englund retired from the role.
Will Arnett?
Yeah,
That would be interesting if they could divorce it away from its modern thing. Because the mistake along the way, I think, was making the Jackie Earl Haley version a pedophile, Fredo. I don't want to get in the algorithm shit here.
Don't worry about it. It
But,
doesn't bother me, man. You can speak freely on my channel. You don't
Why,
have to worry about any of that
thank
kind of
you,
stuff.
man. Because because the Robert Englund version was not.
yeah.
No, he just killed little
Yeah.
kids.
Kill the kids.
He was just the maniacal serial killer of the 20th century without the intersectional woe. And
Yeah,
I got a box set of I'm watching for my 31 days of Halloween. I'm watching 31 horror movies again.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be coming up pretty soon, huh?
Yeah, and I got
I'm excited.
I got the Friday the 13th box set, but I also got the box the 8 movie pack of the Nightmare on Elm Street ones.
Yeah. Oh.
And I'm looking, and I think I'm not sure. Maybe it was in Midnight's Edge that said something. All right, I'm not sure if I'm remembering this right. Was there? Remember Freddy's Nightmares, the TV show?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They getting that if that comes out on disc, I mean that's a real keeper. That had some really gruesome.
I
Twilight
remember
Zone.
that, man.
Yeah,
that was good. Sorry, I'm gonna try. My wife has been giving me some advice on trying to up my numbers and everything
on Insta,
on Instagram, on other things, and she's giving me some ideas because my wife is she does she's a cooking consultant. My wife is also a chef. She got her license at a French restaurant.
Nice.
Her family owns a restaurant. She's worked at it ever since she was a little kid. But she was showing me some reels of other artists and how they were just, boosting up their numbers. It was just doing very simple things, including just doing instead of like doing these long, really drawn out, like what are they called? Time lapse videos.
Right.
They would do like very short 30-second ones, but it was more of just showing not just the whole drawing process, but also just like, mixing of paint, dabbing of things here and there, things that weren't just like the whole process in itself. So I decided I'm going to try that out and because I think, especially with, the States and maybe some of the international ones, people are going to be, whether or not they decide if I'm going to be accepted, they're going to be looking at my numbers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
How popular is this guy? And if they see that I've only got like a very short following, they're not really going to consider me. And I think that's true, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But oh well.
Eric, I put on the chat of a person you should look up called the Horror Geek. He does reviews for certain movies horror movies that you might not have heard of. Look him up, and maybe you could get like an idea of like what you could do for your 31 days of Halloween.
So I would say there are 8 Nightmare on Elm Street movies if you count like Freddy versus Jason or the remake in 2010. But there are like 7, that's also including Wes Craven's New Nightmare from 1994.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and cool. I'll give that a peek.
Yeah,
Open up a window.
Yeah, he does like he looks up.
Wow.
He finds like giallo, like movies from that are also giallo, and he also does like
There you go. 97.2K subscribers, 224 videos.
Yeah, I'm one of the subscribers. And he has he also looks up like obscure slasher movies as well, and he'll always rate them like between with 60, because these are
You're kind of breaking up a bit, buddy.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's cool.
Okay.
Yeah, these movies are called sick flicks, so he actually rates them between 1 barf bag to 5 barf bags. So that's his rating. His
Barf
rating
bags.
system. Yeah.
Oh, this is going to be a fun painting to work on. I could tell already.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Looks
JT,
pretty-
thanks for that right there. Yeah, I hope it will be. I mean, it's weird. Sorry, I don't mean to derail it here. Like, you just want to make art just to have fun.
Yeah.
But if you want to do it as a living, you got to take it to a different kind of level. You got to come at it from a different angle as well. You got to be pushing it. You know what I mean? You got to be trying to sell it. You got to try to make yourself popular. It's just part of it.
Push
You know what I
it.
mean?
Do.
Push it. Push it.
Do. Yo, baby, pop. Yeah, you come here, give me a kiss. Better make it fast, or else I'm gonna get pissed. Now can't you hear the music pumping hard like I wish you would? Now push it. Push it good. Oh, push it real good.
God, I need a gong.
That takes it back, dude.
Thanks, man.
That's
the jam.
I need a gong. I need
you need a bong.
A bong.
Man.
I was gonna say that too. You stole my joke.
Man, George Washington come home and like Martha be waiting for him, some tasty buds, man. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Confused? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I like them high school girls. I get older and they stay the same age.
Party at the moon tower.
All right.
You smoke?
Right.
It'd be cooler if you did. That's cool, man.
The side hat in effect. Thank you. Yeah, I think this is gonna. I'm hoping this one won't take too long. I'll be honest. I was suffering from a massive migraine before this stream started, and I had to lay down and just kind of like close my eyes, sleep in the dark a bit because it's the weather here right now because we're in the rainy season. We just hit the rainy season here, and it's just some days it'll be like hot as hell. Other days it's cold, and it just does something to my head.
Yeah.
See spots and everything.
No, but I look in the mirror. I see this damn old handsome man looking back at me.
See this giant red sponge trying to attack you every morning. And I'm like, he's
run away. Just to confirm, Eric. And I don't think we need to confirm about this at all. Or I think it's pretty much understood between you and I. But I thought that your comments with the young lady Mandy Summers were very gentleman and very nice.
Okay, so I thought you were saying something about Limp Bizkit, and I was like, "Excuse me, sir, but you know what? Please, it took me a long time to get some, firm grasp on my masculinity, but." He's like, get your mama her purse. You open the door for your mama. You tell mama your hair looks nice. Tell mama your nails look nice. You look nice. Your nails look nice, mama. Just shit like that. And it's amazing. It's so disarming. It's just oh, your nails look nice. I said that like last week to like a 21-year-old girl. I was like at the diner, the breakfast diner down the street. Yeah. Sitting at the counter, and two tough students sit next to me, and she reaches over to grab, to get like the syrup.
Yeah.
She said, "Excuse me, please." I'm like, "Yeah," but she had a very nice manicure.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a freshly done, and I was like, "Oh, your nails look nice." And she, "Thank you." And like,
You can
chicks
remember?
dig that, man. You know what I mean? Like, because they did put effort in, they put money into
Exactly. They
that,
put
and
money into that.
it's like it's just like when a lady puts in some effort to look nice, they really like it when you notice. Oh, your hair looks
Exactly.
really nice. Oh, is that a new dress? Oh, I love your shoes. That's a good one. Love your shoes is a good one. Ben Affleck uses that one, I guess. He said that was an improv line in Batman versus Superman.
Hey,
Uh-huh.
Max Mac is here. Mac
He
Okay.
is. Hello. Did you bring any donuts?
They're downstairs.
I hope they brought
Ohio.
donuts. Did you bring donuts?
They're downstairs though. I have to run and get them.
I'll take a jelly donut. I'll take a lemon donut, a Boston cream donut, a chocolate honey dip.
Do you think that's a little too much sugar? Do you think?
Dude, you know I'm hyper. How do I say that way?
Ah,
About the donuts.
I'll see what we can prep up for you.
Oh, Homer, stop picking at your head. But I'm so light and fluffy, Marge.
I need to hear that.
Oh, boy.
So how's it going, Mac?
Busy as fuck.
Good. Did you get some good supper last night and get some chill?
Yes.
Good. That's what matters.
This week has been busy.
Yeah, who are you having as a guest star this week?
Dreaming Tabitha, and this is gonna be a regular kind of draw and talk format.
Yeah. Yeah. I was
listen with their mic.
Your
Me-
mic's making some funky.
Yeah, it was me. My mic.
Oh, I thought that was me. It was like,
Yeah, my mic cord got all tangled up.
okay.
Yeah.
And you should have been here earlier. Let's see, who was here?
Well, he needs
Ryan
you to
Rogers.
sleep.
Ryan Rogers was here earlier.
I only got like 4 hours. I only got that as beauty sleep though.
7 a.m. where you are. Come on, man.
Yeah, I went to bed at like 1:30.
I'm not even going to bring a BPT into this. That would be insensitive.
What's BPT?
BPT? You don't know BPT?
I don't know.
I'm down with OPP. Yeah, you know me.
Yeah,
but I don't know
exactly.
No, I work in a very diverse place, so I get the in on jokes.
Mhm.
Like you don't know BPT? What? Black people's time.
Okay.
I see.
All right.
Well,
That's not
we
an
have that
excuse.
over here. We
Get to
call
work
that
on time.
Hugachikan, and that's the
Irish people's time is showing up early, eating all the food, and then scramming early without saying goodbye to anyone.
I thought it was them getting pissed.
So basically, that's what you usually do then, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You make sure all the good you've had the good booze, you had the good food before it's sitting out too long, and you just slip out the back and you don't tell anyone.
Yeah, you just disappear.
I thought
Irish goodbye.
I thought Irish time was getting pissed ass drunk and starting fights with random strangers.
Well,
Well,
no,
that's
it's the
all
other
the
way
time.
around.
That's
You
all
get
the
pissed.
time.
You get
No, that's
get
later. Yeah.
pissed drunk, and then you could be dead from fighting with strangers.
I just thought that was because that's how Conor McGregor behaves.
Oh boy, he hasn't fought since he broke his leg, right?
No.
His since broke his leg, but he was beat down to Miami Heat's mascot. Though.
Oh no shit, huh?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that poor guy went to he got his bell rung. It was in the bit though. That was all kayfabe, but yeah, that guy just doesn't know how to pull a punch. Fuck.
McGregor.
That's so funny.
Well,
huh?
Connor or the mascot.
The mascot, the poor dude.
I'm like, damn, what did you do? Piss him off.
I missed this. What happened?
What'd you say? Did you say like the English were right or something? Maybe he was British.
No, let me see.
Oh, it was
I'm
just
trying to
the Miami Heat mascot came out with like boxing gloves and a robe, and it was
Yeah.
part of a promotion. So it was all
Right.
planned. It was
Right.
it was a bit, but in the kayfabe of the bit, McGregor did a 1-2 combo, and he
Oh, boy.
connected. He
knock the
probably
fuck out.
he's probably so strong he doesn't realize that he's hitting a normie, and
Yeah.
that you know how to hit somebody, where and how to hit somebody, that you don't know. You remember that you're hitting a normie, even if there's like a, even if you got the costume on.
Right.
Shit, I've taken a hockey puck in the nuts ice hockey with all that equipment on, you still feel a percentage
Oh,
of
yeah.
that shit, man.
I imagine so. Yeah.
Yes, and even in the head, you get you get shot in the head all the time, and you feel that,
Even
Gosh.
Superman knows how to pull back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just ask Lois Lane about that.
Heyo.
Hey.
Waka.
I went there.
I'm so
Hey.
proud of you, Jinja. Thank you for that one.
Yeah.
Somebody had to.
I mean, did he pick a fight with a 60-year-old man because he wouldn't drink his whiskey?
Maybe, but that's a cultural thing.
Mm.
That sounds more like Eric right there, though.
I don't drink whiskey for that very reason.
Okay, replace whiskey with any other drink, then it still sounds like Eric.
I stopped drinking gin because of that. I love gin. I love whiskey, like Irish whiskey, good whiskey.
I can't drink tequila just because of that, man.
I love tequila.
Oh, tequila does
good
horrible
tequila,
things to me.
not shitty tequila. I mean,
Yes. Good tequila doesn't do anything to me. Patron.
Oh, and good vodka. I mean, like I like Stoli, but that's like but everything above that, like good shit. It's like the stuff you can sip that you don't need to,
Megalo Mongoloid says changes in air pressure get me too. Exactly, man. The changes in air pressure. This is referring to like my migraines that I've been having. Well, you got to fight through it, man. You got to fight through it.
Fight the power.
Fight the power that be.
Elvis was a hero to most. Elvis was a
dude. That group changed my life.
Public Enemy.
Yes.
Yeah, boy.
I remember I just moved to Indiana. And my friend was listening to him, and we all got like the live album, or we got like a videotape or something. Yeah, and it was just like, wow, this is amazing music. This is it. This is what I was wanting. It's good stuff. What was I doing? Oh,
you were drawing, sir.
No, I feel bad because this guy put something up on Twitter, and I haven't retweeted it yet. I did I got like the most oh, come on, just I hate my computer sometimes. He did asked me to do a commission. He commissioned me to do an acrylic painting of an MFP officer from Mad Max 1, Goose, but done as a short blonde-headed woman.
That is
with a bit of muscles.
That is weirdly specific.
Yeah. So I just got this to he put this up today. There it is. Put it up on Twitter. So that's the commission I did for him. There you go. So it's got like MFP in the background here. And yeah, he was very happy with it. So there you go.
Okay, perfect. That's my template. All right,
you never know what you're going to get. But the customer asks and you must provide.
Exactly.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, what am I doing here?
Duplicate. Perfect. Okay. So let's do.
All right. I need to put some teeth in here, I guess.
Okay. Now lookups. Hang on 1 second.
Oh yeah, I love painting in oil now. This and monotypes.
I set up a new rule for my streams from now on.
What's that?
I have to be at least 50 to 75% at the line art before I can even go live.
I'm
done. I'm done with this trying to start from scratch because it didn't work for me when we had Sean Art Attack on last week. It was awesome. His art was awesome though.
Yeah.
But so yeah, that's gonna be a change there. So
well, you got to test the waters, see what works, see what
Exactly.
And then roll with it.
Okay. So.
All right, let's put this down here. Ooh.
So I got like 4 hours. like 4 hours, and I know the line art is going to take me at least 2 hours.
Yeah.
So we got until the end of this stream and about 8:30. So until I come up
So you're
with
gonna do the line art now and then get ready for.
Well, I'm doing the thumbnails now. If you see my screen, I'm already laid up.
Okay.
I'm just doing not even poses what to do. So
I got you. Oh, whoops! That's supposed to be the bat insignia. Should I have his bat? Should it be ripped like it is on the cover? Should it be banged up a little bit? Nah.
So last week I did my first attempt at cell shading.
How'd that go?
I liked it. I'm gonna have to do more of it too, because let's see what we got.
What you up to there, Sully?
No, I'm looking at your Batman. I'm like seeing it take shape.
Oh yeah, it's so difficult because it's small and you can't see what's going on. But this is, I'm just kind of blocking in colors right now, and then nothing's really smooth. But I'm gonna keep it a little bit rough because I want it to kind of convey Frank Miller's style.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Plus, you get a feel for like the texture of his costume that way too.
Yeah.
You know,
so
I could see it like on the rumples on his cape by his shoulders.
Yeah. And then
I like texture.
Yeah, texture.
And oil paint lends that visually because you can really see the texture. And you can see the brushstrokes. That's one of my favorite parts of going to museums and especially Dutch rooms.
Oh yes,
you can see the texture.
You cannot see that stuff in a book at all.
Yeah,
you have to be there and see that in person.
Exactly,
right.
And being a woodworker too, I took a lot of woodworking in high school. I always stop and I'm gawking at the frames for a good couple of minutes.
Yes.
And looking at, because these frames are just as old as the paintings themselves.
They're beautiful. They're works of art themselves.
Yes, exactly. Oh my gosh, thank you. And it's just like, and it's all like, look at this. And then like, oh, wow, there's a picture.
I'm guilty of like actually drawing the frames. Whenever I go there, I'll draw the frames sometimes because I'm like, I want to do this frame when I get back. I want to try to do this. This is so cool.
Before power tools and everything too, man.
And that's kind of the funny thing, because I was talking to Sean about that on last Sunday's show, was that when I look at pictures and stuff for reference, I'm like zooming in and like taking a look at every single brush stroke, every single line work they do, and try to apply that to myself. It's like, okay, I think I can do that. It's like, I love doing that. I love analyzing stuff like that.
Now, Matt, let me ask you something about line art. On when you're doing a thumbnail, or not a thumbnail. You're doing a layout for a piece, all right, and then you're working because you're on this new medium now with the digital tablet. Okay, so have you abandoned hatching and cross hatching for shadings, like that gradient of, you know what I'm talking about?
What in traditional?
Kind of.
No, he's talking about tablet.
Like on tablets.
Have you abandoned the traditional cross hatching when you go to tablet?
Yeah, when you're adding depth and gravity to your form.
I hate to say this, but kinda.
I think so, because I'm noticing I'm trying to develop a vocabulary. It's like, because I'm not anti-digital. I embrace the future. It's part of it. Because there are good artists such as yourself, Irene Strakowski, Pierre Berg, the artist known as Narwhal. These are artists that really do good jobs on the digital tablet medium. But then I'm buying something like Steelworks for $4.99, like this week from DC Comics, and it's got the flattest looking art for a superhero comic book. And I'm noticing that it's a complete lack of hatching and cross hatching, and it's more of a reliance upon this gradient of shadow and coloring to create that depth, gravity, and texture. And I'm like, is that a result? So I'm trying to get a better sense of my displeasure. That and the onomatopoeia, they all look like they're generated from a meme generator. I mean, but
sorry, don't mean to interrupt you guys. Megalo Mongoloid, thank you for stopping by. Have a good one. I appreciate you dropping by. Hope to see you again. Thank you.
Good to see you.
Some of this.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for letting me ask. I'm just because I don't want to. I'm afraid I'm gonna come off sounding anti-digital tablet.
No, not at
And
all.
but
Not at
to
all.
someone that's going to say, why don't you like my art? And I need to be able to say, well, as a fan of art, I don't find it satisfying because of X, Y, and Z. And is it because I'm a 20th century relic that likes?
If it makes you feel better, Eric,
Mhm.
I still crosshatch when I ink.
Mm-hmm.
I still crosshatch, so it doesn't. On traditional, I still crosshatch.
Right.
So it
But like
doesn't.
digitally, I mean,
Digitally, not so much.
Right. Thank you.
Mac, did you see that? Did you see those articles going on? Like
Which
this?
one?
Well, there's two articles right now, and it's from the same person,
Okay.
from the gamer of all things.
Okay. So opinion already discarded. What's up? What are they?
One of them is about Cammy. Her
Cammy one already know about that.
Yeah.
Already know about. Yes.
And then the other one is about Megan Fox doing
Okay,
that.
so so I'm gonna need further clarification on that one because I've been hearing other people talk about that and people are getting angry over it. I'm wondering what's going on.
Megan Fox. Yeah, Megan Fox is basically doing an ad where players can send in their deaths, and she will either praise them or like scoff at them for their deaths, and she'll do it in a sultry voice while wearing a tight black outfit.
Okay.
And this one, the one who did the Cammy thing, wrote the Cammy article, is doing the.
So it's the same person. It's the same
Yeah.
person. The same person who probably was throwing, shade at J.K. Rowling, and then had to get who was making slanderous comments at J.K. Rowling, and then was forced to apologize on the BBC. Am I correct?
Yeah, most likely.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the same. It's same shit, different story.
Okay. Yeah. Like I said, opinion discarded. And plus, Megan Fox is crazy herself anyway. So.
Yeah,
and she drank the Kool-Aid a long time ago.
Yeah, but she's still smoking hot.
That can only get you so far at this point for me, man.
Yeah,
that can only get you so far now.
Yeah,
I've gotten older.
Yeah, let's see. The Xbox showcase is going to start in like 2 hours and 41 minutes. Yeah. The Xbox showcase, the PC gaming show, and the PC gaming show, and the Capcom showcase, that they're all today.
Okay. See what they got.
So that's something. That's something to look forward to. I mean, I saw the Summer Game Fest. One of the things is the release date of Spider-Man, the Mortal Kombat 1, the Final Fantasy remake, Part 7, Part 2 remake.
Could have gone to Part 7, you know. Part 7.
Probably Part 4 because it was released in a 4-disc set.
Oh, that's right. So Part 2 is going to be like a 2-disc format, isn't it? Okay.
Yeah, and Alan Wake Part 2. Yeah,
Alan Wake, yes.
Yeah, and Twisted Metal 2, or Twisted Metal the series.
Oh, I was about to say because they haven't gone with the reboot. They haven't gone far as they haven't even announced a reboot yet, have they?
Yeah, no. Yeah, I think they want to see how popular the TV series is before they start a new game.
They just fired off. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. I like Anthony Mackie as this kind of like bumbling hero, like because the way right now he's like this guy who's like very lucky, and he one of the things is that he has amnesia. But this is a character from Twisted Metal Black who was only known as John Doe.
Gotcha.
And Will Arnett is the voice of Sweet Tooth. I actually showed the clip, and it was actually really funny because Will Arnett has this like sadistic glee going on with the voice, and Sweet Tooth's body actor is Samoa Joe.
Nice.
Yeah, and he actually does. And like the one part where he is actually showing, like, he goes like, let's have a little murder music, and then he starts playing the thong song, and he's like dancing to the beat while he's beating up Anthony Mackie.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That sounds funny.
Yeah, and when he's about to punch him, he starts going through the lyrics, and then he's got dumps like a truck. And then Anthony Mackie starts singing along to the lyrics, and he's like, and then Sweet Tooth is like, "Do you love the silver hair god?" He's like, "What? Don't lie to me. Do you love the silver hair god?" It's like, "Yeah, man. I listened to Unleash the Dragon so many times the disc broke."
Okay, that's interesting. This is very interesting.
Yeah, because
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I want to see how it's done. I'd like to see like Mr. Grimm, characters like Mr. Grimm.
I thought you were about to say Mr. Greg. I was like,
That's
what?
what I was thinking too. Is he in there?
What?
That'd be a cool cameo.
What about
Yeah.
the cameo?
I'd like to see like some characters like Dollface, or how they do like characters like Dollface or Grasshopper. Hell, even like who was that one guy? Oh, Outlaw, which was actually a police cruiser. And I want to see how they're going to do Calypso.
That's right.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm kind of excited to see that series. And let's see, what was the oh crap, one of the announcements just made me sad, because it was like they had the trailer for the Witcher season 3 part 1, which was introduced by Henry Cavill, the actress who played Yennefer, and the actress who played Ciri.
Oh.
R.I.P.
We know who to blame it on.
Yeah, showrunners.
Wackos.
Whack jobs, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, we know why it's being done.
Mm-hmm.
ESG, man. ESG.
I'm going to say.
Everybody's just trying to get their scores in.
Honestly, after the article that Yell Flash and Dark Tide was bringing up about Capcom and how they're kind of more tailoring it, especially with Street Fighter 6 EG, I was like, okay, I'm sick of this now.
Yeah.
I want this dead and gone.
Yeah, man. I tell you, man, you're gonna start seeing it over here in Japan. They're just like,
no, it's been going on. That was what we relation to, because it was like, okay, so
of course,
so anime studios are starting to tailboard to against ESG scores. I'm like telling people, I've been set off left and right with this. Fuck Western standards, okay?
Oh yeah, big time.
Our standards aren't that great, okay?
Yeah.
It's modern audiences is a lie.
Juan, your mic. What is the setup you got there?
Whoa, is that mine?
Yeah,
no, it's Juan's. It's like
Sorry about that.
I thought that was mine. Okay, I thought you were talking to me.
Let me turn it down.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that.
No. It's just kind of got like this. Like you could hear it like the whole time. Like you could hear like this kind of not an echo, but I kind of I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
It's fine now.
Yeah. Let me turn. Sorry. I turned it down.
Oh, you're cool.
Yeah. Hey, Mac. I was wondering. You had like Spider-Verse characters like doing cosplay of Street Fighter.
Yes.
Street Fighter 6.
Yeah, that was last month. Yeah, it was last month. I did 2 of those.
Yeah. I was wondering if you could have done like either Mary Jane as Chun-Li or Manon.
Nah. It was it was just like a one and done thing. The only reason I did the jury is Jury's Silk, or Silk as Jury was just kind of like a companion, and it's kind of companion to the to the Cammy, to the Spider-Gwen as Cammy, which you know, Cammy's female.
Yeah, Cammy's
Spider-Gwen's female. Sorry, sorry guys. I've been so bombarded with that ish all last week. I'm like,
oh, people are trying to say like what she's trans or something.
Yeah,
and I'm just because
her colors are somewhat similar.
Also they have like it was like she in her room she had
of course to protect trans kids and stuff like that, and just because of the Yoko that doesn't mean I think I did a sketch yesterday. And I don't know if everybody saw that. And I used specifically that color scheme. And it's just like to prove a point. I was like, I'm sorry. Yes, it could be associated with one community, but they don't claim ownership of that color scheme.
Yeah. Like I yesterday at the game store where I went to go play Kill Team yesterday. A friend of mine saw a video of. He said that he put the same color. They're like, Spider-Gwen is trans because they have the same color scheme as the trans flag, but you put the color scheme of the flag of the Yahtzees with Miles's costume. Does that mean he's part of that? Does that mean he's part of that community?
People are throwing a fit about that.
You know, I'm glad you brought this up in detail, because not only because the big reveal, the big spoiler for the next movie is that Spider-Gwen's dead name was Peter Parker.
Funny.
Thank you, Waka Waka. Ruby Tippy the Bottom, please.
You know, Eric, I would laugh at that, but don't give me any ideas.
Don't give me any ideas.
Yeah,
the only thing, because we don't have to gay code things in movies anymore. That's 20th century stuff. Because if Gwen was really trans, they would have led with that, because that's what they do.
Yeah, that's the thing and they already established in the last movie that Peter died.
Yeah.
Didn't they
Her Peter died. Miles has died.
Didn't they bring that? Didn't they bring that Charlotte Webb character have a few voice lines in the film?
Don't know.
Yeah, and they also had I don't know
the disabled one.
Yeah,
fair is a fair and a bull sport
by that hack.
T. Franklin. T. Franklin's character.
Yeah, which actually isn't her character. If you put Zach.
Is that Sun Spider?
Yeah.
No, yeah. It was T. Franklin's character. They were saying that there was also some people who were saying that since they had like a policeman Spider-Man in there and across the Spider-Verse.
The police angle. Fuck off.
They're saying that they should have like an anti-cop Spider-Man in there. But it's like that's not something that'll Spider-Man. He helps. He fights the law. He fights.
That's what you have. That's what I think. That's what Spider-Punk was for, in a way.
Yeah, he's like the anti. Spider-Punk was like the chaos, the anti-Spider-Man and anarchist without the Venom symbiote.
Yeah, the anarchist.
Yeah, and one of the things that I don't know. I haven't seen Across the Spider-Verse. I want to see it hopefully next week, but I don't want any. The only thing that I saw.
Okay, but it says here I get this from spiderman.fandom.com/wiki. Salut. And Sun Spider of Earth 223, created by Danya Broder, fan concept, Jed McKay, and Zay Carlos. No mention
of T. Franklin.
Just want to just go in there. I like wikis.
What's
James, did I talk over you? I'm sorry.
No. I sneezed. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah, I heard.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And I
because I pressed my mute button before I did it, but I didn't hit it in time. Whoops.
I was going to say
about that.
type, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So she's not this. She has okay. Charlotte Weber has Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which
Original
affects
way.
her joints and connective tissues. Because of this, Charlotte uses a wheelchair and crutches for extra stability, and her crutches are web shooters. So that's and hiding shit in plain sight. That's actually pretty interesting. But
It's
it sounds as though she's got limited use of her limbs, of her legs.
Yeah.
That she's not a paraplegic.
Yeah. The one thing the one I don't know if you guys remember Silk Spinner or Silk Spider. That one.
Which one? It was Silk herself, or is it
No,
called?
no.
No, it's a different one.
No, that one was the one with the purple and the gold mask, who was like looked like he came out of a gay bar from the 90s.
Oh, okay.
Dream Spider.
No,
Was
The
it
one-
Spider-Man?
yeah, it's like this guy was like looks like he was a caricature of what people think that a gay person looks like.
Okay. Oh, okay. Dream Spider is another spider. Okay. Crystal Katawani is Dream Spider.
Yeah,
Too many.
yeah.
This is too much. This is too
Yeah.
much. It's like I established.
I'm glad I'm taking my break from Amazing
I
Spider-Man.
was like, I established. Listen, my own, I guess my own quote unquote headcanon. There's only Peter, Ben Riley, Miles Morales, Jessica Drew, Kane Parker, Gwen
Yeah.
Stacy, and Cindy Moon. That's it.
Yeah,
I don't know. Cindy Moon's even kind of stretching it too.
Yeah,
man.
even Cindy Moon was a fucking
Yeah,
stretch. And I
in my
actually like
head
that
canon,
character.
there's
We were
Peter
kinda-
Parker,
Mhm.
and that's
Just-
and Spider-Man 2099. As far as
Yeah,
I know.
Miguel O'Hara.
Miguel O'Hara.
Yeah.
And I'll take a Ben Riley in there, and I'll take an Eddie Brock in there too.
yeah.
Because I'm a huge fan of the black costume.
I remember
and
one of my favorite
Venom.
one of my favorite spin-offs that I'm sad that they're not doing more comic books was Toxin.
Uh-huh.
The guy.
Yeah, I never got into like his Toxin was Carnage's spawn.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Toxin was Carnage's spawn, and that was
Okay.
the one
Yeah,
Eddie
and-
Brock was, and that was the one Eddie Brock was using when Flash Thompson became Agent Venom.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
and Flash was Venom. That was really
I
interesting.
love Agent
Yeah.
Venom.
Because he
Absolutely
legitimately
loved it.
lost he legitimately lost his legs. He was a wounded warrior, and putting the
I
Venom
love
symbiote on.
Flash Thompson's character hands down.
But he gave him back his legs. That was I like that.
Yeah.
That Venom.
Yeah, but now they want like basically got rid of Flash because modern day Marvel don't like the military.
And that makes me
Well,
sad.
there's only so far that will go because
There's a-
all publications get a government subsidy for showing the
Well,
armed forces in a positive light.
Yeah.
Also, also I would argue they probably did a great job of fleshing out his character
Yeah.
in the runs that in his run of Agent Venom. So
Yeah, and one of the things that I really liked is that he basically fought the symbiote at every single twist.
he fought the symbiote at every turn. He helped someone else. He helped someone named Andrew who became manic. Who was actually spawned from that same symbiote as well.
Yeah, and the thing is that one of the things is that he fought the symbiote just to serve his country, and that's what being a soldier is all about.
Well, and that, now it's like that, but Spider-Man was his hero.
Yeah, and he learned that Spider-Man was the kid he bullied from the symbiote. He used to bully as the symbiote, and he realized that true strength comes from within. So he even fought when he lost the symbiote. He even fought to get it back without his legs.
Was he even a member of Guardians of the Galaxy?
I don't remember.
Mhm.
I don't remember.
Mm.
But I like the Agent Venom run. I liked I like the early run of Spider-Woman. The not like the before
I'm gonna admit I wasn't a fan of the art.
Yeah,
I
well,
was not a fan of the art. I'll admit. I just
yeah, yeah. The one of the things that I liked about the Spider Woman arc was that how it shifted from when she was an agent of Hydra to when she became a superhero. The two and how the two storylines meld together. But also there was like when she became like this raging feminist and like I don't need no man and everything. That's when I stopped reading.
Oh, I thought you stopped reading when she was swinging around pregnant.
Yeah, that's that's the time when she started going. I'm a raging feminist who don't need no man because it was the whole thing. That whole feminist thing was in like Mockingbird divorced Hawkeye.
Oh, that's right. Ask me about my family. Oh, that's that classic.
Yeah. and and Mary Jane decided to quit working for Tony and became a club owner in New York, and all this crazy crap
That's right.
all this crazy crap that was going on, and then the sales just went. Yep. And one of the things, and I'm pretty certain that like the sales for Amazing Spider-Man are gonna drop are gonna drop this month because they were more interested in the arc of the current arc that was going on, and the whole mystery box thing was actually fell flat on its face.
Just like how most mystery boxes, just like anything from J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, like there are some good mystery boxes. Like I brought this up last week. I don't know if you saw the debate me and Sully had. But
what okay, Cliff's Notes, because
okay.
I feel like that was some good stuff there.
Yeah. Me and Sully were having a debate last week. Hey, you're mute. You're mute.
I know. Oh, yeah, I wasn't talking. I was just nodding my head.
Yeah, me and Sully
okay.
Me and Sully had a debate of Amazing Spider-Man 26, and I'm looking at it from a fan's perspective who's been toughing it out for the 26 issues, and Sully was looking at it from a newcomer's perspective. Sully actually liked it. I didn't, because I felt like the entire mystery box angle that they had, like Paul was actually that universe for the universe that Mary Jane and Peter got sucked into version of Rabin. The kids that they adopted were actually illusions created by Wynette.
So in the House of M, basically.
Yeah,
very much so. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
did you read it, Mac?
That is no,
okay.
But that sounds like
and
just
also
like House of M.
Also like Mary Kamala Khan pulls a switcheroo and dies instead of Mary Jane, and the whole thing just fell flat to me.
Well, this is the switcheroo thing. It's just more of like Rabin said, I have seen the future and I will kill Mary Jane. And that's exactly what he did. But Kamala made the hero's choice to use her shape-shifting abilities to sucker the big bad into coming for her instead of the innocent. And just like, Kamala died the hero's death. And that was, I understand. Like, my positive notes can't compete with the weight of the hurt feelings and disappointment of the existing fan base, because like Gabe, my friend Gabe Hernandez from Comical Opinions said, just some envelope math. You spent about $125 of your money to get here, and here's Eric. He spent $5, and he's happy as a clam.
Yeah,
and
right.
You know what I mean. But that's unfair. That's a great point.
And the thing is that the whole thing about her, the whole thing about the reveal that Paul is Rabin, is the alternate version of Rabin, or the alternate universe version of Rabin, and
It's his son.
it's his son.
I believe that
No.
was
Yeah,
that's what I got from it.
No, he says that Peter said that he was their version of the emissary, the world's version of the emissary, and the thing is that he says that Mary Jane compared Paul to Peter, and that's what a lot of fans were mad about, because Peter didn't stop a robbery, and that caused his Uncle Ben to die. Yep. Paul participated in a planet-wide genocide. How is that the same?
It was a different Earth. Those people didn't really exist. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It's so difficult to be a writer and a creator, and it's just even more difficult to be the fan.
Yeah.
And there's no way around. There's no logic to any of these story beats. There's only in trying to enjoy it or not enjoying it.
What's up, Low Spec?
Yeah, the thing is
might be at the point where we're not trying to enjoy it anymore.
Yeah, the thing is right now Paul is like doing the I think that he mostly is going to start going to absorb the emissary power just so he can get those kids back and have the family. Because I really think that Mary Jane stayed with him because of those kids.
Yeah.
And
you can only find out if you stay tuned.
Yeah,
exactly. Stay tuned for the next episode.
And that's the irony too, because you're fed up and you want out.
Yeah, the thing is I'm taking a break until December is because I know he's not gonna. I know he's not gonna advance the story until later down the line.
Exactly. That's why I jumped in at 26. I bypassed.
Yeah, I'm going
all
to.
Of that.
You bypassed the compressor.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
Chewy, check the negative power coupling.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Fascinating conversation with your computer.
I'm gonna jump in on issue 40, which is in December, and those are the last two arcs of his run. And the one and hopefully, after his run, they bring Chip Zdarsky in to do the next 24 because he understands.
They need you. They gotta hire you.
Nah, I'm not.
Write the next 5 years of ASM. You can you write the ship.
Nah, I'm not that. I'm not that.
I told you what I would do. What would you do? I gave them my elevator pitch in the short form. It's this. I'm going to make Miles Spider-Man for a couple of years. I'm going to do this by giving Peter back the symbiote and making him Venom, making him an anti-hero. And I'm going to play with that for a few years. I'm going to bring Venom back to the streets, no cosmic shit, no null, and just maybe a pissed off Peter Parker. You know what I mean? And it's all going to be like, you know what? Why I was with Peter, because he was an alpha male and he was manly. He was like, Mary, I could have done that anytime. And that's his motivation for wanting to see
Peter, Paul, Mary.
Yeah. Thank you. It's very biblical. Yeah.
There you go.
I was going mistaken earlier. I was like, I'm hearing all of these biblical names being used everywhere. I'm the Bible. The Bible, baby. I'm ready.
My pitch would be Peter, Paul and Mary Jane's relationship becomes strained because those kids are gone. And the
whole thing with Paul's going to be done as soon as Wells leaves. Hopefully.
Yeah.
I mean, because
he thinks that making a deal with Myneb, the guy who gave Rabin his version of Paul, or 616 version of Paul, his powers, he's going to make a deal to bring those kids back so him and Mary Jane can stay together. But he becomes corrupt. He
has to become the emissary in order to manifest the kids. To keep Mary Jane with them. And that's the whole. That's
and
the
the
feedback
thing
loop
is
of,
that,
you know.
and the thing is, Mary Jane sees this going, and she actually goes to Peter, and
Mm.
they get close again, and Paul becomes jealous, and when they fight, they both have Peter and Mary Jane have those slot machine things. Peter uses one, and he actually gets the 3 skulls, and he dies. And Mary Jane gets like the jackpot, and she gets like the temporary powers of God and resurrects Peter.
Mhm.
And like, I don't know, through the power of love, they are able to defeat Rapin or the emissary once and for all. And I don't know, maybe Peter finally proposed, or like a little time skip of a few months later, Peter and Mary Jane are back together, and Peter confesses that he doesn't want to let Mary Jane go again, so he proposes. And that's
then
like,
they do it.
yeah.
And then they,
Oh,
And
that
that's like,
Did
that
you say
would
the
be-
power of love?
Yeah.
then they do it.
The power of
and
love
then-
is a curious thing. Makes a one man
Is
weep,
it-
makes another man sing.
And here's the thing. Here's what's gonna happen. Then they do it, and then finally we get Mayday Parker.
Yeah.
That's
And-
what happened. Now,
I was
Yeah,
gonna say
the thing is that
Mayday Parker.
the thing that's gonna be like the road to issue 1000. That's what I'm hoping the road to issue 1000 is gonna be.
Paved with good intentions and with dead bodies.
they should call
Like
it The
human
Last
history.
Dance with Mary Jane.
That's funny. I like that. You're very clever, very artistic.
Yeah.
I was about to say, is that a Michael Jordan reference? I was about to say.
Tom
No,
Petty.
it's a Tom Petty, bro. Tom Petty.
I'm not. I've been told.
I
I
mean,
was about to say,
Never
Jinja, who's the
through this whole, I'm telling you, through this whole run, I couldn't even listen to the Bon Jovi song "Always" because it was like, it reminded me of Paul choosing Mary Jane choosing Paul over Peter.
I was about to say, Jinja, this is The Last Dance. And who's the Scottie Pippen
very
of
glad-
Michael Jordan of this?
And I'm also very glad that Bentito's not a Days of Our Lives fan and was watching
Oh my gosh.
when Sammy
Oh,
couldn't
Lord.
choose between Austin and Carrie, you know, or you know, with
I don't know. I would
I
know
live
this.
I live in a house full of Mexicans. Like in the early aughts, they were into novelas. Now they're into K-dramas.
Dame
I
Chocolate.
wouldn't,
That was a
I
good
would
show.
know this because I never watched a single soap opera
You know what's
except all my children.
Here's a good thing about narrative storytelling. Here's a good thing about narrative serialized storytelling, though. The telenovela of like Telemundo, they don't perpetuate. There are a couple of seasons,
and
they're
they go
done.
over the top. And you're just like,
But it's like it's not like the American soap opera or even the American comic book where it's this never-ending story and things get. And then like continuity always gets muddled, and generations get muddled.
Yeah.
And only to suit story though.
Which brings me back to my point. It's like, is it better to have that kind of storytelling where it's like it's limited and you don't drag it out forever? I don't know.
Continuity is a bane and it's a blessing.
Yeah. Hey, Mac, look what I got. Look what I just got.
Oh, hey, Hachibase in the chat. Sorry, mini kita yo. Arigato. Ame komi otaku no Hachibase. So
Moshi.
This lady that's in the chat right. Oh, actually, this is her picture. Whoops. You're gonna see it. She's got her own YouTube channel. She did a very, very nice video of all of like a bunch of the artists in the Artist Alley from Tokyo and Osaka.
nice.
And she did a piece on me as well. Very, very, very wonderful young lady. If you get the chance, go check out her channel. I know it's in Japanese, but her whole setup's cool, and she does great videos, great editing, and she's a very humorous lady. So thank you for coming. ありがとう見に来てくれて。実はこれ8名の絵ですけど、ごめんね、生放送で書いちゃって。
Okay, I got the number 8, but that was it. Am I wrong?
Actually, that's very good.
Thank you.
Hachi is the number 8.
Thank you. Jingo Ninja 18 no.
Dude, she's got like a
Dragon Ball
a life size. I
You are?
It's Ninja Turtle and Yatta. So she's saying yay there. So there you go.
You are Eric?
What?
You're a Dragon Ball fan?
Biggest.
Okay. 1 second. Hey, 1 second. Hey, Jinja, keep blowing my screen up for just a moment.
I
Blow it up.
Okay, so I did my first piece on cell shading was in fact
Cell. It's gotta be.
no, it's not cell.
Okay.
But it ends with
Detail.
L. It ends with L. Videl.
Dragon
Beetle.
Ball.
You did
yeah.
Beatles on the other day. Yeah. Vidal.
Yeah.
People say Vidal, but
Very
yeah,
cute.
Beetle.
I say Videl, but yeah, I mean,
Beatles-on. That's what Gohan would sound like.
It was funny because Power. I was finishing it on Monday morning because this only took like 7 hours. This was actually a quick sketch. I didn't realize how efficient it is to do cell shading. But and the funny part was that one of my channel members, one of my people, one of my subscribers, Power was going to ask me, "Are you going to do all the other different versions of Adele?" And I'm like, "Wait a minute, how many versions of her are there?" There's like
Couple.
5
Well,
or
there's
6 versions. Like
there's the British singer one. Oh, sorry, that's Adele.
Yeah.
Har,
And her many shapes and sizes. But then there's short-haired Vidal, who is
people were actually funny thing because my
the pool.
coworker, I showed this to my coworker, and she wants to commission me the short hair Vidal for as well for that one. So I might do that one down the line.
Yeah, she's very like Pat Benatar looking. You know what I mean? And with high school Vidal, go ahead, Kun. I love that.
I thought you didn't do commissions, dude.
You know what? I'm gonna think about that. I'm thinking about that down the line. So it's
yeah, because I asked you to do a commission. I asked you to do a commission.
You're probably gonna have to get in line.
Yeah. But
James, would you blow up my screen for a second?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, you're not going to show us
when
your
I was
junk,
20,
are you?
no, thank you. When I was 20, about 25, 26 years ago or so, I bought this Japanese game for my PS1. I also needed to buy something called a boot disc, and it had a spring so it wouldn't really close the lid, and that was the only way to get to play a Japanese game. And so it's this game here.
Oh, nice.
Oh, sorry. I'm messing everything up right now.
You kicked me out instead of blowing him up.
That's okay.
I've got oil paint on the hands. That's
fine. Sorry, James.
That's not an excuse.
You are busy. This is Dragon Ball Z Ultimate Battle 22. And this is just up to the end of the Buu saga. Here are your 22 fighters. There's also a couple of hidden fighters, a fusion fighter in here. And this, you'd be amazed that, and here's the, here are your instructions.
Can you show the, oh God, I love that. I love that.
I love that. Look at those Gotenks is such a, and it's all the original voices. I love Tenshinhan.
I love the layout. I love that.
All these button commands still are pretty much your foundation of all your your work in like Dragon Ball Fighter Z. That's a great game on PS4 and 5. I mean, if you play that.
I mean, I love the layout on the instruction manuals. Like, I miss seeing that. I miss seeing stuff like that.
And
I
it's
love
Vegeta too.
I love the graphic. I love that from a graphic design point of view. I love that.
But yeah, so this was a really good game. It's just a side-to-side fighter game, and
2D
just
fighter, yeah.
But it's like then came stuff like Budokai.
Can you show the PS1 cover again?
Of course.
Okay. Hot take. No, like the full case and everything. Oh, with it in the full case. Hot take. I actually like the Japanese PS1 cases more than I do the North American ones, to be honest.
Really?
I actually kind of like that.
Yeah.
Even though it's kind of upside down. I do like the Japanese cases, but I do PS1 cases. Some of them, not all of them, but some of them, most of them.
Hey,
thank
Mac,
you, James. Sorry, you get
no problem.
Yeah, Mac.
Thank you for letting me share that.
Look what I
dude.
Look what I got this week.
What is that?
Chip Zdarsky, Spider-Man, Spider Shadow.
So what's that about?
This is with if Peter kept the Venom suit, kept the symbiote suit and became Venom.
Oh, okay. Oh, he became a symbiote suit. Yeah. That's you know what? That's a good. Is it like an Elseworlds or is it kind of?
Yeah, it's a what if. It's a what if. Yeah. one of the thing that I love these kind of stories.
I do like that. I do like that they did that. I do like that idea of just keeping what would happen if Peter kept the suit on.
Yeah.
Because I always wondered about that. Would have been a lot different. What would have actually been the case?
Yeah, and the thing I like about Chip Zdarsky's style of writing is that he actually gets the characters he's working on, except for Batman. He's basically copying Grant Morrison's run. But I'm gonna be sad seeing him go from Daredevil, because I think he was the last guy who actually got the character of Daredevil.
I still recommend everybody to read his run on Spectacular Spider-Man.
I'm gonna
recommend that.
I'm going to get all his Spectacular Spider-Man on trade paperback. Yeah, the Spectacular Spider-Man, and that's because he gets with Spider-Man Life Story or with Shadow.
Life Story is excellent.
Yeah, the Spider Shadow. He gets the characters. He gets the characters of Peter Parker. He gets the character of Mary Jane. He gets the character of J. Jonah Jameson. He knows his Marvel history. He knows his Marvel lore.
Mm-hmm. But does he really have Ned Leeds' voice?
Yeah, I could picture Ned Leeds doing the.
And I'm not talking new Ned Leeds. I'm talking like classic Bronze Age comic books before he got killed. I'm kidding. I'm just being.
Isn't Miles' friend Ned though? Or might be a different one.
Yeah. Did you see?
I don't know. Ned Leeds was originally he worked at the Daily Bugle. He was a reporter, and his romantic interest was Betty Brant, who was the secretary for J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah.
Because like now with the movies, they've taken all of the characters and they've jumbled them up and thrown them.
Yeah, with Homecoming, it was Liz Allen. With Homecoming, the love interest was Liz Allen.
Right, and that's ultimately Harry Osborn's wife, the mama Normie. You know what I mean? So, they're all interconnected, but a lot of them all didn't go to high school together. I mean, MJ didn't go to high school with Peter like that.
Makes sense.
Ned was a grown up when they met. So was Betty, and Betty Brant was Peter's first love interest.
Actually, that's funny thing because I'm thinking about. I think
it was because her brother died. That's why, and she grew a hatred for Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he called it off.
And, also, I'm thinking about the cartoon for Spectacular Spider-Man, how they kind of took bits and pieces and kind of jumbled together. For one, having Gwen Stacy live with Peter and Aunt May was very reminiscent of how it was in the Ultimates. Having what you just said about Mary Jane was basically mentioned that she came from a completely different school when she was introduced in like the second season of Spectacular Spider-Man. So it was I like that. It's just like it was a little.
It's like adaptation and compression of Peter's story and the people.
I was even surprised. I was like, "Holy shit!" They brought Maury Bench, Hydro Man, in here. I was like,
I remember one of the things that I brought this up. I brought this up with some people at my game store, and I'm like, you know what? You know what's weird? And they're like, we were talking about Spider-Man and issue 26, of course. And I was like, you know what's weird? All the Spider-Man media, all the Spider-Man media, and all the different comic book universes, they have Peter and MJ as a couple. Yet in the continuity, they don't.
Because I think it's constantly teasing you, just keeping it just barely out of your reach.
What I want to see
is they're only putting in the $4.99 a month. Let's see if
I kind of want to see I kind of want to see an MCU adaptation of the Japanese Spider-Man now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And giant robot. Leopion and
Oh
Venom,
yeah,
just-
I like that character. That
was
was
awesome.
fun. That was fun.
he took lives, man. He was lethal. It was
Yeah.
It was actually very emotional during the movie too. You know where
Yeah.
you know.
and that is why Spider-Man India appeals to me as well. It's just
Spider-Man
that-
India, okay, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's coming out this week, and I'm gonna buy it because I
The-
want to buy Spider-Man funny books.
The thing is that one of the things that I liked about let's see, what was it?
Oh, actually, Spider-Man 27 comes out this week. Are you getting it?
No.
No.
Wow.
Because I was thinking about it.
I'm taking a break. I told you I'm
now.
taking a break.
Yeah, okay, so it's your.
ASM.
Because Ed McGuinness is doing the art too, so he's got an art switch. I don't know if like this is. I don't know if like Ramita's off the book now that he's done his stuff, and now we're going.
No, it's just that after like this whole mystery box style of storytelling that Zeb Wells had adapted for 26 issues, it wasn't worth the payoff.
Mm-hmm.
It was just
right, exactly. I mean, this would have worked better if it was like 8 issues.
Yeah.
You know, it would have had more power. You probably would have been pleased if it was 8 issues. And it was like, you know what? This was a well-paced story. Like my best critique of issue 26 is its pacing. It's wonderful. 5-6 panel pages, a couple of 8 panel pages.
Yeah.
You know, Johnny Romita Jr. is on fire.
One of the things that I liked about it is that Peter and Johnny's friendship is basically mended back together again.
Friends fight. It's what you do afterwards that counts the most. I love Ben Grimm. His voice was very authentic, and Reed was like, "Ben, that's not helping." Because Ben wants to say something mean to Pete.
Yeah.
What was this from?
ASM 26.
Yeah,
and this is Zeb Wells.
Pete and Ben have always had a good friendship.
Yeah, and so the Peter, Ben, and Johnny play well together.
Yeah,
they do,
especially with banter.
Yeah,
and Zeb Wells did write some, pretty spot on characters that sounded like their characters.
Yeah, but it's like the whole side story to this is what.
Oh shit! Sorry.
Oh no! What did you do now?
Trying to mess everything up.
He touched the button. I'm trying to not touch the button.
Don't touch the button.
The red shiny candy-like button.
No touching. No touching.
Okay, Jinja, you're not Jinja. You're not Harvey. Shut up.
I'm trying to set up a live stream with Hachibe here. I want to do a live stream with her.
Like right now?
No.
Okay, I was about to say. I was like,
no. It's 12 o'clock at night here. Like, but I want to introduce her like all of her, a lot of the things that she has over here. She's got like a lot of cool stuff in her room there.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. Maybe you should try that at some point.
Oh no, I'm going to. That's my
try
goal.
You'd be big in Japan. I can tell.
Good. Just kind of good language barrier. You know.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do have a big bump on my head. I have grown an inch or so since I've been here. After all the times I've whacked my head on the door heads over here.
Phrasing.
Are we talking about the chat?
Gandalf's in the Shire again.
Oh yeah. Oh.
You bumped your head. Grew up an inch.
Boy.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I had some of the tree water.
I guess the missus was giving some of that to that head, right?
Oh.
I'm sorry. I'll stop.
Waka waka. Things get plenty blue in here after midnight.
Hey-o.
But it's midnight in Japan.
Oh, she said she was going to come on the stream, but after that joke, she's just like, no, I'm not going to bother anymore.
I am so sorry. Okay, I'm sorry.
Too late.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, she said Materune. She said I'll be waiting because I told her I'm going to DM her about like doing a show.
I'm sorry. I couldn't help it. That was a bad joke. I know that was a horrible joke.
You better be sorry.
I apologize. Shut up.
What would Mama Mackie say?
I'm sorry to the Mrs. to Mrs. Jinja. I apologize.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna let this one slide, Maki. Gonna let this
is
one
Mrs.
slide.
Ninja. This is Jinja, which is more appropriate.
Mrs. Jinja, I
I'll,
guess.
I'll behave. I promise. I'll behave.
Too late.
Wait a
Time
minute.
has come.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
It's
I'm
too
not allowed
late
to
to
behave. Wait a minute. I'm not
apologize.
allowed to make that joke, but Eric can. Eric can make you can though.
It's too late to apologize.
You know, it's funny. It always reminds me of. Have you guys ever seen the Grand Budapest Hotel?
No, I
I heard
haven't.
Oh, I
no.
love that movie.
I like his movies too.
Oh,
Wes
dude,
Anderson.
it's such a great one. Yeah, it's such a good one. And there's what's his face? Ralph. I always get his
Ray
Ralph
Fiennes?
Fiennes.
Ray Fiennes.
He's
Ralph
he
Fiennes,
does an excellent job in the movie. And there's this one line where he's the hotel
Concierge.
what? Yeah.
Concierge.
That's the
hotel
word I'm
concierge.
looking for.
Right. You're not the
Um,
general manager, but you're like the maestro
yeah.
that runs all these different data streams.
And it's
Yeah,
funny
exactly.
because he's renowned for hitting on really just all the lady customers, especially the older ones. But one of the main characters, he's getting engaged to this younger lady, and they're having this conversation, and he's just like, "This is all fine and all, but you shouldn't do that." It's like, "Do what? Flirt with her?" "I'm not flirting with her. Am I flirting with you?" And he asks the girl, and then she kind of looks at him and goes, "Yeah, you're flirting with me." And it just kind of reminded me of that right now, this whole little conversation we're having. You got to see the movie. Check it out. It's one of my favorite of his.
To the chat, I sincerely apologize. I will.
What are you talking about, man?
I will draw in shame. I continue drawing.
You do that. Bow your head.
Feel shame as you draw these thick thighs
I have no
and
honor.
mighty
I have no honor.
and mighty memories.
8名はいつも何時頃に寝るの？起きるのが遅いの？寝るのが遅い。
He said 8 again. I know that.
Yeah.
I feel like there should be an automatic translator every time you speak.
Well, I'm just asking her if she stays up so this late all the time, or if she's a night owl, or if she usually goes to sleep, because she did a Lego build tonight of the Batmobile from the Lego movie.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
And then she thought it was going to be an easy build, but it ended up taking
It
a
never
lot
is.
longer. Yeah, she said it took a lot longer than she thought it was going to be. So
From what I've seen with those Lego builds, it never really is that easy.
Yeah. Yeah, just actually try doing Warhammer. Try doing Warhammer models.
That's a nice Batmobile. It's
Which one? Which Batmobile though?
Specifically the Lego Batman movie.
Oh, okay.
So it's got the hot rod pipes underneath it. It's boosted up. It's got some wings, like little wings in the back with jet boosters. Mm-hmm. And I forgot how much I liked the Robin in this movie. That was funny.
I've only watched that movie once.
It's stupid, but it's funny.
Yeah, it's meant to be. It's kind of it's tongue in cheek.
Yes, it's more Batman 66 than anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, I really loved the Lego movie. I had such a fun time watching that, and I've watched it several times. And the whole Batman, I just love that character in the movie. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed the Lego movie more than I did the Batman one.
Okay.
Yeah, without a doubt. Hot take? Is it a hot take? I don't think so.
No, it's kind of room temperature.
This is a glass of orange juice kind of take.
Yeah, it's kind of like a glass of orange juice. Yeah, exactly.
It's like it's like you're like, what? I paid $7 for 8 ounces a glass of juice. What?
Exactly.
What Frank Zappa said. I paid $7 for a glass of orange juice the size of my pinky. That's the American dream. Something like that. I just butchered that. But my Frank Zappa voice is great. Awesome. Now who here has continued to have read Frank Miller's Dark Knight beyond the seminal 1986 piece?
I'll be honest, I've never read any of them.
Really? Oh, good for you. It's always new if you
I
haven't read
know
it yet.
how bad Dark Knight Strikes Again is.
Unfortunately. I read it, unfortunately.
What, DK2?
Yeah, the Dark Knight Strikes Again.
Oh, blasphemous. I like this. I like them all. I'm
really?
Yes, they all have their own merits. There's a lot of people had a lot of problems with DK2. You know, it was a real change of the guard. It was one of the first big funny books of the 21st century. And Lynn Varney was still with Frank Miller at the time. They were a couple, and she's his colorist. And this is the first time that she used Adobe Photoshop and
Ah,
accessed that nigh unlimited
Untapped
palette.
potential.
Yeah, because we were talking about limited palettes earlier, and James was like, "Yes, I'm using 5 colors today," and sometimes it's better to have that pressure, that restraint
yeah,
of a limited palette, because the unlimited palette, I mean, what we're getting in contemporary comic books, it's just not, like, I mean, oh, it's just so unsatisfying.
Yeah,
Bisexual lighting everywhere.
That's
yeah,
it. I use the same term.
yeah,
A certain flatness too.
Right,
I
right.
mean, a lack of a dynamism.
mm,
And
Dynamicism.
but like I said earlier, I was watching Wakazashi Gray. He's doing a
Hmm.
good jam series with Jim Warner from Weird Science about Grant Morrison stuff, and they're doing a Doom Patrol from the late 1980s. And Gray's like, look at this limited palette of the colors here. It works so well. These greens and like and just like, yeah, they were like really bright, eye-catching colors, and that they were meant to be that way, to stick on the page like that. And I just, wow, we've kind of lost so much by gaining
yeah.
the infinite.
yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. That's a good
Mhm.
way to put it right there. You lose
I
something
think
by
that's a
gaining
good.
something.
Yeah, that is a good way to put it.
Yeah.
I can't.
Mm.
No, you're not wrong on that.
Well,
Mhm.
it's almost like you got to like from the get go. I do this with because I have done like a
You
digital coloring before, but what I do is I set it from the set get go. I'm like, okay, I'm only using these. This list like
well,
these certain
and I think that
colors,
comes in,
and I
and I
stick to
think
it.
that comes down to it is that,
Yeah,
um, because and I think that what Eric is highlighting is a very point thing is that you have access to unlimited materials and such like
yeah,
that, and that can be applied to anything. Is that you know what's kind of missing is that you can be the idea that you can be at your most creative when you have limits placed on you.
Mhm.
mm,
It actually has you actually have to be creative, you know? Sometimes your
yeah,
best work is when you're limited, when you have when you're not using, when you limit yourself to specific things. Here you can only use these specific, you're not giving yourself so much, like you think is like you can produce your best work when you have such unlimited material to
A
work with.
deadline.
But a lot of times you can be at your most creative, and sometimes your best work is when you have a limit on yourself, because it allows you to be creative, it allows you to think, it allows you to kind of figure things out,
yeah,
almost like it is like a problem solving, like you're
yeah,
problem
yeah.
solving in a way.
I'm just going to give a quick shout out to Dempsey here in the chat.
Hello.
Good to see you here,
Hello.
bud. Always nice to
Hey,
see you, man.
MC.
Not saying that having unlimited resources is a bad thing. I'm just saying that sometimes you want to. It's I think a lot of it is just discipline.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, of course. Yeah. I'm in the firm belief that I know this is kind of I don't know if this is tinfoilish or not, but a lot of the movie studios nowadays, like maybe unions or whatever for like the
Hmm.
digital for the computer graphics,
Yeah.
whatever, they're required for so many movies to have a certain amount of time, a certain amount of
Hmm.
money that they have to like it you hear a lot of people complaining, it's like, "Oh, there's just too much CG now," or it's just like an
Hmm.
overload of it, you know what I mean? But I think that that might be something that maybe unions or something like that is involved where they're, "No, you guys have to have this much time or this much, amount of CG being used in the film and blah, blah, blah."
But
I don't know.
not being creative with it. Not
Right, right,
not relying, not actually going forth to do like practical effects or do a fusion of
right.
both.
Yep.
Because it's like with the CG, it's like it's so made on quickness, it's so made on efficiency, but we ever see anything where the CG is so melded together with the practical effects, where it's CG that is basically used as what it's intended. It's meant to enhance the practical effects, not as a replacement for it.
I think a great like example of that, where they were both used within the same scene, was like from Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Rings, the
Right.
Fellowship, where they had the cave troll.
Mhm.
Remember?
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
they had they, of course they had to do the whole CG version of it with the actions parts, but you got to see the physical parts of it as well. It kind of
Mhm.
worked together.
Yeah, it's supposed to kind of
Yeah,
work
it
and
melded.
complement one another, and
Yeah.
it's really is meant meant to help in the areas that you can only do so much with practical effects. It's meant to help in those areas.
All right, Dipsy brings up a question here. I like how Dipsy always throws questions to the chat here, guys. All right, so let's have your thoughts. Devil's advocate, do you think that forcing Hollywood to have more writers for each project will actually help the products? If it works, do
I
you think CGI artists will be mandated next?
No,
no
No.
that's
no
unequivocally. I mean, it's
I think we can
it's
universally agree on that one. No.
too
Yeah.
many. We have too many chefs will spoil your cooking.
And,
Yeah.
and I think the problem is, and it really is, it's something that we address, and they want to scoff off, like mainstream media and everything else wants to scoff off, is you need good writers. Like
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
needs to be like a bar of quality. There needs to be like a barometer. There needs to be like a set regular quality. Is like, are you able to write something that is compelling? Are you able to be able to do something with this material here? Because I
Yeah.
think the part of the writer's strike is that we have a lot of mediocre talent.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to bring up that up. Everybody's too afraid to
Well,
bring
the
up that
reason
it's
that
not good.
mediocre. Oh, sorry, I
Oh,
don't mean
go
to
ahead.
talk over there. Sorry.
No, go
Well,
ahead.
I was thinking that the reason there's a lot of mediocre talent is because of the hiring system has changed, and
Yeah.
we know what it's based off of now. It's not
Mhm.
based off of your resume of actual working experience. It's based off of other qualities about your looks, your sexual preferences,
Mhm.
and what.
Graduating from an elite college is
Yes.
probably the
Yeah.
number one thing on a resume
Yes.
that will get you,
Right.
and especially, and then then you have it, the academic that you call the
Yep.
the mind virus, where
Mhm.
the petri dish was
Hmm.
academia, and that's where these academic thoughts and that the way to craft stories. It's like you know that your clientele, most of them are blue collar people with
Right.
blue collar values and a way of life and a way of thinking as well. I mean,
I think the same thing.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No.
go ahead.
Go ahead. I think the same thing also applies to the marketing with what they're trying to
Mhm.
push. Kind of like what
Like
Bud
market
Light.
it on the good of the content,
Yeah.
and it's just the same old things that we've been,
Yeah,
we've
Hey,
been
what's
talking
up, Phil
about.
TFT?
Hey
What's
Phil,
up?
what's going on?
It's like what they did with what they did with with Dove or Bud Light or even Coors now, that they are just that what they think that the customer wants, but they don't know
It's what they think the customer wants.
Yes.
Well,
That's the
no, it's
problem.
I don't even think they
I
think the
disagree.
customer wants
Actually,
that. I don't
no,
think
I
they think that
disagree.
at
I think
all.
that's what
Yeah.
that's what the academic mind mold wants.
Right.
It's about we need to subvert culture and we need to re-educate
Yep.
people
Yep.
through their culture. That's why there's some kind of hill to die on when it comes to small people's schools and about what we think is normalization versus some kind of weird radical indoctrination thing. I'm not a parent. I'm staying out of that one.
Yeah.
But but that's all. These are not blue collar values. These are not blue collar ways of thinking, ways of living. These come
No.
from very specific sources.
And just because it's blue collar doesn't mean it's a bad thing, though.
No,
Not at all.
exactly.
There's actually
Watch
nuance
Fight
to
Club.
there's actually nuance to it. Actually, I would
Yeah.
argue there's actually nuance to it. Not everything is the same. Not every single blue collar person is the same.
Yeah.
Right. And what are you supposed to do with all of these blue collar backwards people? You know what I mean? If they're not going to
those
accept
are
your
your
new programming,
because
scares
they
me the
do they
most.
are your customers.
Yes.
Like it or not, they are your customers, and
Yeah, they live with you. They live down the street from you. They're on the highways with you. They share the subways with you. You know,
Not
And they're
not
not
only are
asking,
they
and the thing
not
is,
only are they your customers, but watch Fight Club. We
and
are
not
the
de-
people. We drive your buses. You know, we
and
we
that
clean your windows. We do this.
and
We
guess
do that.
what? Guess
We
what?
cook your meals.
suggest that Sir doesn't have the chowder. No
And guess
chowder.
what? And guess what,
What's
guys? A lot of the
up?
people that they're trying to cater to will either be a part of that blue collar group or will end up becoming that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a blue collar guy. I work in construction.
Exactly.
I'm a blue collar guy. I'm a union chef.
I'm in the office. I work in an office job, and I'm like,
I'm a
so-
self-employed.
Yeah, huzzah!
Yeah, but
This
it's just,
train
it's
to
just,
the hardworking people.
but you got a point. But that's the thing. That's the thing, Ginger. That's the thing. Eric is just like, yeah, it's just like it's not really. It's bad marketing because it's like it's. I think what I said yesterday on Weekend Geek was that like you're not tailoring to wanting to create a good product. You're doing it for ESG scores, and it's like you're putting companies at a bind where either it's make a good product or make a product or serve customer or do it for ESG scores, which in other words making money as well.
Right.
Yeah.
But
I
it's
I
like,
think that's where it's all at right now, man. Just
Yeah.
ESG.
yeah, I think
I'm
after
for it.
yesterday, I mean that after yesterday, I'm really sick of it.
I think ESG is just the fog of war. I see it as a bit more basic. As I'm a big fan of military, especially Asian military minds, such as Sun Tzu or even Miyamoto Musashi's
Right.
Gorin no Sho, the Book of Five Rings. I just think it's very simple. There's been a communist infiltration of academia going back about 40, 50 years ago. And that's their plan on how to destroy America. And America's always had her enemies, and they always will, because we're a nation and we're a big target. And what has been done here is kind of just like, okay, I mean, like, how much, this is, I see it. Why don't you?
Let's
like,
be real here.
And I'm going to go get my tinfoil hat now. But that's like, okay, I see it as basic. I see it as
what's that?
Cui bono.
I'll be right here, guys. In this, if life was an RPG, America is basically the final boss. We're basically the final boss here. So if you think about it.
True that, but I mean, just America has had its, we had the Cold War. There was a communist enemy. There was, an American interest, and then there was other foreign interests.
But I also think it's more specifically, it's just freedom. It's that concept of freedom is the final.
True,
boss.
but as a nation and being a nation, we've probably done a lot of underhanded things, and we probably deserve our enemies, and we have to be vigilant and aware that we have our enemies. And 9/11 should have taught us something like that.
Yeah, it should have been just kind of like a wake up call, and it's like, listen, we're gonna focus, and that's how I see it. It's just like, listen, if it was me running this country, I'd be like, screw all y'all. We're gonna focus on us. I don't care about.
Well,
I don't care about anything.
That's how the states used to be.
Yeah, we're just gonna focus on us. We're not getting involved. We're not getting involved. We're not gonna play police out here.
That's one of the main
guys
reasons,
deal with it.
That's one of the main reasons Japan thought they could just go bomb Pearl Harbor, and it would all be over with, because they thought that America wasn't
going to do anything
about it. Yeah, they were just going to sit back and go, okay, that happened, so let's just stay out of this and put our head in the sand, and because it all happened. Actually, Vietnam was the whole reason. Well, so we can get into that to a later date.
Whatever, since World War II, there's been an American presence overseas, and if you are a foreign interest and would like America to be, to be out of your interests, how can you do that? Is there a long game involved? I think there was a long game involved, and wow, I want to
apologize to the chat right now
for what?
Because we're going into politics, and
meanwhile, on Dark Knight 3, the Master Race.
I don't like going into politics. I'm just saying.
I mean, well, they go hand in hand with modern culture now. It's unfortunate, but it's And it's not like we're talking about a
No,
specific.
I don't even see it. This is
We're-
political. I see this as
no, I
like
don't either. I don't either.
it's
That's what I
world
was just trying to say.
strategies.
Political
Right.
is like when you start talking about a certain candidate, and then you
Right.
start talking about like their stance on something. They were like, no, I like this
Yeah.
candidate because of that, and that's political. Whereas we're just talking about this is more of
Like history, we keep
Yeah,
saying we
right.
forget history, especially recent history.
Yeah, don't
Like
forget
60
history.
years ago, we used to have a
international
word.
relations.
60 years ago, we used to have a word called brinksmanship. Do you know what this word is?
No, but it
Okay,
sounds cool.
brinksmanship is like the
no.
awful state that like of nuclear weapons, that you have these nuclear weapons, you're at the brink of equal destruction. And so brinksmanship was defined international policy since World War II with the dawn of the atomic age.
Okay.
And then who possessed the atomic weapons. So brinksman, like it's like that's like, so now that foreign policy is like a weird, it's the 21st century, and so all of those it's a new ball game. And if you like this kind of stuff, there's a really good book.
Yeah.
It's called The War on Peace, written by Ronan Farrow. I've read it 3 times. It was written about 4 years ago, and the guy's a really brilliant journalist, a real journalist. His mom is Mia Farrow, and his father could be Frank Sinatra. It's Woody Allen's, son, quote unquote. But if you ever take a peek at a picture of Ronan Farrow, he looks just like a young Sinatra. And Mia Farrow was married to Frank Sinatra, so he could be Frank Sinatra's boy, genetically speaking. But it's brilliant. But it's called The War on the War on Peace. It's by let me just get you I'll get the link.
Thanks, man. Throw it in the chat there. Yeah.
It's called The War on Peace. But I got the audiobook version.
Sorry. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go for it.
I'm right now. I'm looking at the game, like the Xbox Showcase previews. They're showing this live game show of Lies of P, which is like a steampunk Souls-like version, Dark Souls version of retelling of Pinocchio. It looks really cool. It reminds me of Bloodborne.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest with you. I got a weird question.
What?
Go for it.
We're all talking about this.
What sounds cooler to y'all? Age or era?
Era.
Okay. I don't know. For some reason, it's just his age. It sounds much cooler.
Well, it depends. I guess maybe what you're using it with is
Right.
like the age of madness and the era
Like
of madness. The age of madness would
the
sound
golden
better,
age,
right?
the silver age, the bronze age.
Right.
I don't know. I know that just sounds cool to me. Both sound cool to me. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So The War on Peace. It's literally about the erosion of the U.S. State Department and the foreign office, and about ambassadors, and about and since Obama, before Obama's presidency, that there's been a lot of dismantling of the U.S. State Department and how we are negotiating with foreign nations. It's just it's but this is all information. It's good stuff. If you I don't listen to NPR anymore, but I still got a keen mind.
I saw this on Rob Liefeld's Instagram. He just released he put down like all the variant covers he worked for the Deadpool Blood, but like the new miniseries she's working on. He just released all the covers that he worked on. Let me see if I can find it.
Oh, just to give you guys a heads up here, I think I'm going to end the stream here in maybe close around the 3 hour mark.
Sounds good to me, because you got to get to bed, brother.
I'm already finishing up the rough sketch phase, so I can start on line art. I still got 2 hours of the show left, so that's perfect time.
Okay, cool. Yeah, just to give you a heads up.
I do want to bring up one thing.
Yeah,
You're talking about politics and stuff like that, and this is kind of a little off topic. On T-shirt on Weekend Geek yesterday, T-shirt was bringing up how the show Altered, or at least the first season of Altered Carbon, reminded him so much of
Cyberpunk 2077 because he's a huge fan, not just
Yeah.
of the game, but of Mike Pottsmith's tabletop RPG.
Yeah.
And we were kind of joking about like he wanted a cyberpunk, how much he wanted what we didn't expect, what we were hoping to get by a new millennium and such. And we were like a cyberpunk. He was hoping for a cyberpunk kind of future similar to that. And I was like, so basically, what you want a corpo war. You want basically a war. I don't think that's going to happen because I think with what's going on with corporations right now is the simple. Those who are it's the simple phrase. If you do not learn from history, you are doomed to repeat it.
Yeah,
Right.
I think that's what we're seeing with corporations right now.
Yeah, like the whole thing about how you wanted how that guy wanted a cyberpunk future. It reminds me of No, it reminded me of that one credit card commercial of Benjamin Sisko going, "Where I was promised flying cars."
Yep, we were promised flying cars, space travel, such like that. I was like, that's because I was like, if you guys like, I read because I was excited for Cyberpunk 2077, and the lead up to the game, I watched a bunch of videos just kind of detailing the lore of it, detailing the lore of how it all created. I'm like, this is effed up.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole thing about the cyberpunk thing was that they just jumped the gun too early with the release because they were WB Games were selling some of their game studios, and I think CD Projekt, and since like the CD Projekt Red had them for their distribution, they were basically pressuring them to release it on time so they could get some money out of it before their sales at the end of to boost some of their sales at the end of the year. And I think that hurt it in the long run. But now, after it's been patched to hell, and now that it's in a playable, it's
a much playable state now.
Yeah, and now
I think that. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and now that they're finally doing the DLCs that's coming out later this year.
Only one.
Yeah, and they're going to like do more, put in more cyberpunk content as well. So it actually with the anime that came out,
Edge Runners, I think Edge Runners is some way kind of really reinvigorated it. It's almost like the second, give it Cyberpunk its second win.
It caused it to go $20 billion, 20 million, sell 20 million copies, or 20 million copies.
And the fact that they tied the content directly in with 2077 on the release of the anime was absolute spot on.
Yeah.
I do think that, and I still stand by this, that I think that the release would have been a lot better if they just released it on PC, PS5, PC, and the current gen consoles. Just skip the last gen altogether.
Yeah. I got it on last gen, and
I did too.
Yeah. Very bad.
Now,
it ruined my experience.
No, James, just to give you a heads up, I put a link to an image, a side-by-side comparison of in the private chat, and I just want to ask a question. If you want to take a peek. Now it's Frank Sinatra, old Blue Eyes on the left.
Okay. All right.
Now tell me, is the young person on the right the biological son of Woody Allen?
All right, let's check this out.
The biological son of Woody Allen.
No.
Oh, dude, this is the same person, man. What are you talking about?
Okay, that's Ronan Farrow. That's Mia Farrow's son.
Really?
And Mia Farrow was married to Frank Sinatra. He was 50 and she was 20. And but he was this Italian,
it's like
old school
image, man.
Yeah. And so Mia was this 20-something beautiful ingenue actress in the mid 60s. Total complete feminist too, out of college.
Yeah.
They just intrinsically didn't get along because of his alphaness. And they eventually split up, but they remained friends for the rest of their lives. So Mia wanted to have a baby, I guess, but she ended up having 2 children with Woody Allen. But biologically
I
speaking.
will say, I will argue that Mia Farrow has aged well.
Yeah.
Years. She's definitely aged well.
But yeah, that's Ronan Farrow. He's a doctor of journalism or foreign policy. He's wicked smart.
Bro, that is such a chip
That's
off the
spitting
old block.
image.
It is so
Yeah,
spitting image.
spitting
It's
image, man.
insane.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
This image is from Entertainment E Online.
Yeah,
So just
man.
that's where the source of
Man,
the image.
how can you not tell that? How can you not tell that?
And it's just never been disclosed or proven or disproven. It's just one of
No.
those. That's one of those things. It's like, the baby came out and looked like Jay, and I couldn't believe things that make you go things that make you go
CNC Music
Like,
Factory.
that's just like a bruh. I'm like, bruh, come on now. I'm like, come on now. Don't
Come on.
Don't tell me they don't look like a chip off the old block. Come on, dude.
Thank you very much for indulging that. I thought
that was good.
Man. This is insane. It's insane. How has nobody
it's
seen
the same
this?
picture. I mean, yeah, we should
Yeah,
have
it's
the
the same
office
picture.
meme.
Yeah,
We
the
need-
office meme would work there definitely.
Yeah, look, man, that's all
Definitely.
blue eyes down to a T right there, man.
Damn.
Yeah.
I almost want to put a rip in his glove here. I might do that later. I'll figure it out. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna
Alrighty.
call a wrap to this one.
Well, thanks for letting me know and
this
let
is
me
fun.
Yeah.
It's fun times.
have
Yeah.
some breakfast with you and some coffee and start my day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm
This
able
is good
to have the time
times.
to do this.
Yeah.
Hey, just let everyone know I'm gonna be on Yule Carter's Fantastic Comics at 11 p.m. Eastern time on Tuesday night. So that's 8 p.m. Pacific. What would that be? It would be in the morning time for you, James. But
8 p.m.
I'm staying up late, and Yule Carter, he's the owner of Fantastic Comics. It's not only a YouTube channel, it's a comic book store. And he's been in this game for a long time. He's also one of my comics aficionado panel mates. And he shows up to my show, all the time, too. So I have a great ongoing comic book shop style conversation with Yule Carter. So come and share this with us as we talk for a couple of hours on Tuesday night. We talk about new releases and whatever's our fancy. Yeah, we'll see where it
awesome.
goes.
Put the link on the chat.
I don't have it. He doesn't have the link for it yet, but I will put up the link for his channel because
That'll work. Yeah.
I love Yule's show. It's a weekly show. I'm usually never up for it because it's past my bedtime, but I'm on vacation, so I can not only come to the live chat.
Wait, you are right now?
I'm on vacation until and for the next couple of weeks. Yeah.
Okay, let me know.
No,
DM me. DM me.
Well, I will. Now is our time. Now is the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. And let me put that into the chat. Yeah, this is Fantastic Comics. Yule Carter. He's great. And thank you so very much, James. And I do daily content for anyone who doesn't know. 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern daily. We have some comic book talk. We take our minds off our minds and we join up at the comics coffee table. We pull up a chair, we grab a cuppa, and we take a break and we talk about comic books. And it's a great way to spend some time.
That was perfect.
I practiced that in the mirror.
Yeah, that should be like your promo video right there. Just
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's maybe I'll clip that.
Yeah.
Cool, man. And thank you, James. It's been a wonder and
it's always my pleasure,
really
man,
nice looking
having you on
Dark Knight. And looking forward to seeing what's next always. And talking, I like that we've given ourselves like 10 minutes to see, like, let's talk about art for a moment. Art appreciation. We're talking about brushes. We're talking about canvas. We're talking about the paper. I like talking about paper for some reason.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh no, it's fun stuff, dude.
It's just like it's all
it feels so good on your hands,
Yeah.
Yes. I like learning more and more about this, and thank you for letting me be part of it. And as I'm often off to do as well, don't be afraid to click on this link and check out James's first comic book. It's Anti-Steam Junk Western, episode number 0 on Indiegogo, and I've got mine. It was one of my favorite comics of 2022, and I mean
Thank
that.
you, sir.
And
Thank
you,
I
James.
appreciate it, man. No, thank you. Thank you.
Namaste.
Self-approval right there.
You're the man,
Cool.
Eric. You're the
Aw,
man.
shucks. Rika loves you too.
Yeah.
Thanks, dude.
This should be like when you do like an advertisement for that book. That should be one of the
No,
credits. My
seriously,
favorite
I'm gonna
comics.
clip that. I need to clip that. I need to clip that and just make that the
Always
official
be
advertisement
pimping.
for it.
Yeah.
A, B, C,
Exactly.
always be closing. You hear that, you bunch of...
Well, let's throw up Bandito. Eric again, Sully, man, thank you. I was talking to Bandito before the stream started. It's like, oh, where's Sully at? It's like, you know what? I have no requirements, I don't expect people to be on here. I just start up the live stream and then people come on here. But I'm so thankful every time that people do. But if they can't, I completely understand it. But every time that anybody's able to come on here and share the space and just make the show so much more better than just me chilling out and talking, I'm very grateful for it. So thank you, Eric.
And
Thank
productive.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, Bandito.
Okay, this is Bandito Bane, the well-rounded nerd, the Super Spider-Man fan, and the Warhammer noob. And thank you for coming on live, for joining us right now. I'm currently going to start working on my Spider-Man Red Sonja review, also my review for Necromunda Terminal Overkill, which is a Warhammer novel that I read, and hopefully I'll have them up this week. Okay, you can find me on my YouTube channel. Hopefully someone gets it on the chat, because I don't have my chat. I don't have my chat thing going on right now. And hopefully I could get my subscriber link up, because I just got a very addictive and expensive hobby with little plastic men in Warhammer, and so hopefully you come by, see the videos that I've done, and hopefully I'll gain your subscription then. And so you could also find me on YouTube at Bandito Bane. You could also thanks, Sully. You could also find me on Facebook at Bandito Bane, and Instagram, and I also do fan fiction. You can find me there. Same thing, Bandito Bane. And I'm also writing a comic book, which, if you want to help out, like throw around some ideas, be a proofreader. I'll be eternally grateful. It's at you could go email me at bombermanefx@gmail.com. So yeah, hopefully you guys can help me out achieve my dream, and I will be eternally grateful to you. Now, as I always say on my video game, on my videos, keep playing and God bless.
All right, thank you as always, Bandito, for hopping on the stream and sharing us all your knowledge, man, and your experiences there, and then your ups and downs with all of the spider stuff. But again, like we were saying, for when the show first started, you know, there's the trial of tears, but in the end, you'll come out and you'll be a stronger man from it all.
Yeah. You know what they say, it only gets worse before it gets better.
Oh, you know.
Yeah, and it reminds me of that Disturbed song called The Light. It's a really good song.
I'll have to check that one out.
Yeah.
Is it like Don't Fear the Reaper, man?
Nah, it's like
Yeah.
Oh no. Life's a musical, dude. Life's a musical. Spirit fingers.
Such a good song, though.
Man.
All right. And last but not least, well, actually,
The one,
not
the
last,
only,
that's
often
myself,
duplicated, never reproduced.
Hackney. Oh, hello, Anonymous.
What'd you say, Eric? Sorry.
The one, the only, often duplicated, and never reproduced.
Exactly, baby.
There we go.
Exactly. Never reproduced. Domestic, not domesticated. Anyway. Domesticated, baby. That's from a Dodge commercial, by the way. All right, thank y'all everybody for being here. Thank y'all so much for joining this Sunday morning show with Jinja Ninja. I am Makini 90, Art German Illustrator. You're gonna find me in 2 hours. In 2 hours' time, you will find me on the greatest Sunday afternoon art show on YouTube, Makini Live. Join me. What's up, Bruce Lombardo, Matt my bear, and of course our special guest, amazing, lovely artist, Dreaming Tabitha. So we're going to be having we're going to get into some more art talk on that on the way in 2 hours. Is going to be on my channel as well. On top of that, what I'm be working on here, this is I'm getting started on channel member stuff for the June art batches here. May's already been sent out last week. Now we're getting head start on the June one. I'm going to be working on this one. This is my monthly Fortnite skin that I do each month, and before the show starts, you should be seeing most, if not all, of the line art completely done and ready to start on the flats, because my new rule, I ain't starting from scratch anymore when I go live. Either I have the line art at least 50 or 75% done, or we gonna have to wait until we get it done, because I am not gonna be trying to start something from scratch live again, because it just does not work for me. But you're gonna find me there. Also, on top of that, I do post time-lapse videos every week. So every week around 4 p.m. and then hopefully my sketch diary series, Maki Sketch Diary, my Monday video series, will be back at 4 p.m. as well. So that is youtube.com/Makini90. Of course, thank you guys. Tune in. Make sure you guys tune in to Channel 90 Television in 2 hours at 11 a.m. PST for the greatest Sunday afternoon art show on YouTube, Makini Live. I look forward to seeing you all there. Thank you, Jinja, as always. Thank you, Bendito. Thank you, Eric. I'm so happy to be back here. And as I always say, never stop drawing.
Awesome.
Yeah. To you, Jinja.
Thank you, Makini. Love it, dude. Love it. Yeah. I really like what you're doing with your work lately, and you're really pushing yourself.
You know what it is?
Yeah.
I am a sucker for low angles. It's my weird belief that I think low angles are dynamic.
Oh, you just like those upskirt stuff, right?
I like doing dynamics. I like trying to do dynamic angles and such. Trying to feel more alive.
Well, it's a challenge in itself to get those lower angles and try to make it.
I've done upper angles. I like doing it. Just, it feels like it pops more on the screen.
I hear you there, man.
A lot more energy.
Perspective.
Oh, I like perspective. Yeah, I like perspective. I like perspective.
I'll end up the show here. Sorry, I'm bumbling here a little bit. It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. Again, thank you guys all for coming out here today. The Jinja Ninja. You guys, know who I am. You're here. You know who I am. But appreciate. This is what I've got here so far tonight with the oil painting right there.
Frank Miller would be proud.
Well, that's
Frank Miller would be proud.
It's still got a bit more work to do on it, but I'm really happy where it's at. I think kind of captured that kind of bulkiness, the little bit of grittiness about the character. Yeah.
And like I said, I like texture, and I feel like you get that in his keep and cowl.
I don't like how you kind of make him like the kind of the detail you did kind of doesn't make it look old, make him look much older too.
Right. It's it's always fun to try to work.
And I like that fist. I like that fist too.
Yeah, just I wanted something in the
Frank
background.
Miller.
Or the foreground of it. That's what I meant to say. I'm debating whether or not to give him some rips in his glove there, because on the cover art it does. But
I would do it just because how bulky he's looked in how bulky he looks in the comic, and how that was basically the base design inspiration for Batfleck. In the Snyderverse. So.
Yeah.
Well, I meant like rips, as in like rips in the cloth. I mean,
maybe like a little bit of bloody knuckle underneath.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would work perfectly.
Yeah.
Little skin tone, little red.
Yeah. I feel like I want that skin tone one more place in the picture, and I think that might be the place to do it. But again, that's something I'll do tomorrow morning whenever I wake up, and let the oil dry just a bit, and it gets to like this tacky texture, and then it's a lot easier to layer on top of that.
Yeah.
But thank you again, everybody out there in the chat who showed up tonight. Appreciate all of you guys out there. Everybody from Dempsey and Mrs. Flu, Anano Mas, Captain Fandom Nerd has been here from the beginning. Phil, TMNT, Hachibe. まだ起きてるかどうかわからないけど、来てくれてありがとう。Let's see who else we got here that showed up tonight. Mongoloid we had over there. And well, of course, JT and Pops. All of you lovely people out here that showed up to the show and showed your, oh, Captain is still here. Apparently, thank you. You've been here the whole time. But again, I'm going to do my best to make sure that this happens every Sunday as much as possible. I feel bad if I take a week off or two, but
don't. You're a busy man. You're a husband. You're a father, and you have things to do. And plus, sometimes we worry about your health. We don't worry about you, but sometimes we worry about you.
Dude, the Comic Con just kind of like it took it out of me, and to be honest, like
it can. I mean,
yeah,
it's a real thing.
Plus you got a lot of big opportunities, so
Yeah. So but I'm going to do my best and make sure that this happens, and that the times off are far and few and far between. But thank you all for coming out. Thank you guys on the panel here, Bandito, Eric, Sully, Makini, you guys rock, and all of you out in the chat, you guys rock as well. Hope to see you around next Sunday. I don't really have. I'm thinking about. I've got a Vampirella cover sitting here that needs some artwork done to it, so I'm thinking about doing maybe a Vampirella cover next week.
Nice.
Which is something that'd be
fun
to work on.
A little bit of cheesecake.
Yeah, there we go. Cherry pie as well. All right, but until next time, you all have a good one, and sayonara.
See you later.
Take care.
And this concludes our broadcast day.